Joe Soto.
No final questions from you, fighter.
And rightfully
for
so.
The flyweight championship. Touch gloves. Come out ready to fight.
Yeah, certainly. I'd be buying the Joe Soto stock right now. So a historic first, Jay, for the Bellator Fighting Championships. The first ever championship fight right now in the 145-pound division between Joe Soto and Yahir Reyes. Joe Soto certainly comes into the fight as the favorite. You see John Soto there, his father, looking on intently as Joe Soto embarks on the biggest fight of his young mixed martial arts career. We are ready, the championship action, 5 rounds if necessary in the featherweight division.
Well, all the pressure, like you said, definitely lies on the shoulders of Joe Soto. A lot of people had him pegged as this second guy behind Wilson Hayes to really win this tournament. And after beating Wilson Hayes, clear eyes were cut on Soto to be the winner.
You see already there Yahir Reyes with about a 4.5-inch height advantage against Joe Soto. And interesting in talking to Yahir about his fight strategy, he said he wants to beat Soto at his own game, so to speak. We know of the wrestling background for Soto, but a gifted striker, so Yahir Reyes wants to punish Soto on his feet, attack the legs early. And you see Soto there attacking the legs of Yahir Reyes, so we'll see how it plays out.
Well, you can't discount the striking of Yahir Reyes or the ground game. I mean, most of his wins, 8 of them coming by submission, and he knows that Joe Soto's gonna try to take him down, and he's gonna need to work from his guard here. Joe Soto's gonna, in my opinion, try to posture up, throw a bunch of punches, and look to get a TKO stoppage or open Reyes up in the early rounds.
Yeah, certainly a power edge for Joe Soto and a definitive wrestling edge for Soto as well. But Yahir Reyes is just a versatile mixed martial artist, and he's pretty good at everything, although not in a position he wants to be necessarily here early as Soto rains down.
Well, Joe Soto wants to show that I'm going to win this fight in a decisive fashion. This isn't just going to be a fluke 5-round decision. People remember your name from wars you've had, not decisions you've won.
Well, Yahir Reyes looks very much overmatched here in the early going. Huge right hands for Joe Soto. Now he's connecting with the left, and Yahir Reyes defending himself, but he's got to get going here. Jason Herzog imploring Reyes to get going.
Jason Herzog, again, a great referee, all over the action, making sure that fighter safety is paramount. Not sure if those punches by Soto are landing a lot of damage. Both guys are really fresh here, and it looks like Reyes is doing a decent job of covering up here. But again, Jason Herzog right on top of the action.
And you just wonder at some point if Herzog will intervene. Joe Soto's thrown about 60 punches, and Yahir Reyes can do nothing but cover up.
Well, he's throwing a lot of punches, but unless Jason Herzog thinks he's really in some sort of position where he could get injured, he's not going to stop it. You hear him yelling at Reyes, you've got to move, you've got to move, you've got to move.
Big right hand there for Joe Soto, going back and forth from the body to the head, and this might be over in a hurry here, Jay. All Joe Soto here early, showing you why his nickname's the Hammer, and Yahir Reyes in a whole world of trouble here early.
Yahir Reyes has been blessed that Jason Herzog hasn't stepped in a couple times to stop this.
Oh, huge right hands from the top here. It's only a matter of time, or so it would appear. Yahir Reyes not doing anything with his legs to try and get up. And Yahir Reyes might be a strike or 2 away from being finished here by Joe Soto.
You gotta wonder if Joe Soto may use all of his gas or a good part of the tank, throwing punches for a minute and a half straight. I mean, that's gonna really, really take your toll on you.
And again, surprised that Yahir Reyes' skin has stayed closed after all the punches he's taken.
Joe Soto looking at the referee saying, hey, he's turning his back. Is this intelligently defending himself? How many times do I have to hit this guy? Reyes, though, no cuts, no blood. Turning away, but, nothing appreciable as far as damage yet.
Well, and maybe Joe Soto, instead of looking at the referee, should be looking at his target and trying to open Yahir Reyes up. But vicious ground and pound for Joe Soto, and not sure how much more Reyes can take. Just flailing those arms as Joe Soto continues to strike away. Oh, big left hand there, elbows to the body, and we go under a minute to go in round 1. Joe Soto can taste his first world title. Yahir Reyes completely overwhelmed, Jay.
Yeah, just Yahir Reyes isn't showing us why he got this far, and it's been Joe Soto's show so far into this fight. With about 30 seconds left, just an onslaught of punches from Joe Soto. The only thing I could say is that Jason Herzog has given Yahir Reyes several opportunities to cover up and told him he's got to move. None of those punches, even though they've been kind of, you know, coming in mass succession, have really done any crazy damage to Reyes. Hasn't gotten any cuts or a couple of lumps and bruises, but we might see a second round here if Soto can't finish this out.
Well, and you do start to wonder if the belt wasn't on the line, would this thing have been stopped already? It's a miracle. Yahir Reyes looks as though he will make it out of the first round. We've got second round action when we return.
Drop the elbows.
Gotta start dropping elbows.
Hey, go give me some Vaseline, hurry up. Hey, give me some Vaseline. Vaseline. Hey. Take deep breaths, relax.
So a huge first round for Joe Soto, but interesting to see the corner calling for some Vaseline, Jay.
It's ironic that Soto actually has a little cut over his eye. I mean, it was the Joe Soto show. This may be the first 10-8 round we see in Bellator. Soto with a great takedown right off the bat, does a good job of turning the head of Reyes into the cage, and then he just unleashes about 4 minutes straight of punches. And you know, Jason Herzog obviously doesn't want to stop the fight due to these strikes by Soto. I guess he felt that none of those really landed flush enough, but you know, Reyes there definitely turning his back and really pushing the border of that being intelligently defending yourself. Right. I guarantee if that happens again, Herzog's going to stop the fight.
So now it's interesting as we embark on the second round here. Joe Soto's the one with the cut on the eyelid, and Yahir Reyes might actually be the fresher fighter after Joe Soto threw about 200 ground and pound punches.
Well, the worst thing that could happen now is Yahir Reyes knocks out Joe Soto, because then everyone's going to go, why didn't you stop that fight?
Sure. So new life for Yahir Reyes, if you want to call his spinning back fist a miracle. Certainly a miracle that he made it out of the first round here in what is the first ever championship fight in the history of the Bellator Fighting Championships.
Well, if there's one thing that Yahir Reyes has made me a believer in, it's miracles. So his new nickname may be the Miracle Kid, because he's had some great luck this far, beating some fantastic fighters, coming back from some rounds where he's been down, and
sure.
Then clearly Soto just dominating that round and gonna get another beautiful takedown. And let's see if Soto can finish it this time, and if Herzog thinks he's had enough, or if Yahir can actually throw up some submissions.
Yeah, and you don't think Herzog will be as kind here to Yahir Reyes. Just about a minute into the second round, Joe Soto caught his breath, and now it's more of the same, just huge strikes, and Yahir Reyes again can do nothing but cover up. Oh, the big right hand. Yeah, that gets right
huge.
through.
He got hit twice, once with the right hand of Soto, and then the other time was his head off the back of the mat.
Yeah, that might have been the best punch, or the best land for Joe Soto here early on in round two, and Yahir Reyes in a whole world of trouble once again.
That reminded me of the Omar De La Cruz right hand off of Dave Manet, another championship fight we're gonna get to see De La Cruz in next week here, but both of these guys got their work cut out for them, more so Reyes, but Soto's trying to figure out a way to stop this fight.
Well, the Soto corner in between rounds, not only calling for Vaseline, but calling for elbows, and now that's exactly what they're getting here as Soto will try to open up Yahir Reyes. Again, Joe Soto can taste the World Championship.
Yeah, Yahir Reyes needs to do something. I think he's gotten all the blessings he's going to get from the referee, Jason Herzog, here, and he's been told 8-9 times, you've got to move, you've got to do something. You can't, just like that, you can't just sit there and let a guy pound on you. That's not defending yourself. This is going to get stopped any second now, unless Yahir Reyes does something that shows he can, maneuver a little bit.
And again, peppering the body, then it's back to the head, and Yahir Reyes just doing nothing. You see the blood coming out of his mouth there. Couple huge left hands for the hammer.
Well, you mentioned that Joe Soto has thrown elbows. Now, this is actually the first time in the Bellator tournament where the guys are allowed to throw elbows, and the reason being before that, we don't want those cuts, so that guys can get to this position and actually fight to win and control their own destiny. He's yelling, he's saying, you gotta move.
Yahir Reyes, English not his first language, but he's got to understand what Jason Herzog is saying. You got to move here.
He's about to figure it out when they get stood up in about 2 seconds here, and that's the end of the fight. The only thing I can say is that, Yahir Reyes doesn't look like he's gotten any gashes or massive amount of damage, although he's been covering up. He hasn't been taking a ton of damage, but you've got to fight back.
Let's go, fighter, move.
Well, Joe Soto's right arm's going to be sore tomorrow regardless. He's thrown about 350 punches through the first 8+ minutes of the fight. And again, Reyes lands one there, a couple right hands as Joe Soto looks at the referee to finish, and Yahir Reyes suddenly showing some life.
You know, I think Joe Soto should just work to pass that open guard and get in a more dominant position where Jason Herzog can step in and say, okay, you're mounted and you've thrown 65 punches. There's weight behind that. You know, the guard is open there at Yahir Reyes. If Joe Soto just pushes on those ankles and gets in a dominant position, moves that right knee around, there we go, that's the start of it. Now we're talking, move into mount, throw a bunch of punches, and I think now that Herzog is going to step in if Yahir Reyes doesn't do something here.
A nice left hand gets through, and Joe Soto just landing and throwing volume punches at will, and now he's got Yahir Reyes' back. Could this thing end with a submission?
I think it's going to. That's a deep arm. It's all over!
There is the tap from Yahir Reyes. Get the wrap ready. Joe Soto is the Bellator Featherweight champion of the world. A dominating performance from the opening bell, the touch of the gloves, all Joe Soto. The first world title for the Californian, and this one, Jason, a no-doubter from the beginning.
Man, Joe Soto just proved why he's one of the top 145-pound featherweights in the world. You see the overwhelming emotion there on Soto's face, and he's so gassed, too, for throwing all those punches. Just so much heart and just an amazing performance by Joe Soto.
There will be plenty of time for Joe Soto to celebrate the world title, but you see right now he's just wondering why the fight didn't stop sooner, and how about the lemon on the side of Yahir Reyes' face. Wow. Again, what a performance from Joe Soto. This was the expectation, though, in all fairness, when a lot of people looked at this final championship matchup, that it would be a lot of this, a lot of Joe Soto using that power advantage and striking away, and really punished Yahir Reyes, working in some body shots, but just the huge shots finally in that second round starting to get through, opening up Yahir Reyes a little bit and causing that welt that you just saw. But that left hand probably caused that welt, and Joe Soto, an unbelievable, relentless attack. And then since he couldn't get the knockout, what does he do? He locks in on the rear naked choke, and Yahir Reyes was tapping shortly thereafter, and Joe Soto exhausted, his parents loving it. You see John Soto there. What a performance from Joe Soto as he wraps up the first world title of his mixed martial arts career. All right, Lupe Contreras is standing by with the official announcement.
Damas y caballeros, una estrangulación mata león, obliga a la esquina azul a rendirse con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos 11 segundos del segundo asalto. Ladies and gentlemen, a rear naked choke obligates the blue corner to tap out with an official time of 4 minutes 11 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by way of submission, el vencedor por sumisión. And now, the Bellator Fighting Championships Featherweight Champion. Y ahora, el campeón peso pluma de Bellator Fighting Championships, Joe Soto.
So there is the belt around Joe Soto's waist, and rightfully so.
Go, gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen, this is the Bellator Featherweight Championship of the world. This is the main event. I expect you to conduct yourself like main event fighters at all times. Been giving you rules in the dressing room. Do I have any questions from the red corner?
No questions.
Do I have any questions from the blue corner? All right, let's touch them up. This is Bellator, men. Here we go.
This Bellator World Title fight is under the unified rules of combat. It is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed both standing and on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent.
All right, gentlemen, this is what it's all about. You ready to go? You ready to go? Let's go to war. Come on.
The bell in round number 1. Joe Warren in the black trunks. The champion, Joe Soto in the white trunks. Kerry Hatley is the referee. Bellator history being made tonight here at the Majestic Theater in San Antonio, Texas. The first ever defense of a Bellator world title. Soto, again, earning this title bout by winning Bellator's season number 2 featherweight tournament. Soto claiming the vacant world title, becoming the inaugural titleist at 145 pounds for Bellator by winning the season 1 tournament.
Good left by Soto, good right over the top. And Soto really showing his dominance in the boxing. Doing a little Diaz impression, throwing his hands up.
Good left by Soto.
Oh, another good left.
Warren turns his back.
He has a bad habit of doing that. He did that against Pitbull.
Watch the back of the head. Watch the back of the head.
Soto getting off with his shots.
Man, Soto just oozing confidence right now. Another good left.
Stiff left jab by Joe Soto.
Warren reaching with his takedown. Oh, good uppercut.
Shots. Warren takes a big step backwards. One-way traffic at the moment for the champion, Joe Soto.
Soto cannot play here, though. If he gets Warren hurt, he has to finish him. We saw against Pitbull how badly he was hurt, and he came back. Soto can't make the same mistake. Another good left and a right. This is
huge
a boxing,
uppercut.
This is a boxing mismatch. Joe Soto is having his way now with Joe Warren.
As confident as Joe Warren is, by his own admission, he will tell you he's not going to win a 25-minute stand-up fight.
He might not win a 5-minute stand-up fight, Sean. He is taking a beating here.
Another big uppercut with the right by Soto.
You see when Joe's in trouble, he starts reaching. He goes back to his Greco-Roman wrestling. He doesn't move his head. He doesn't have the boxing instincts to box defensively.
Just vicious shots by Soto.
Yeah, you can tell Soto has been working that right uppercut right through the center. Greco-Roman wrestler's kryptonite. Get him to reach, throw that uppercut through the center. Nice
Clubbing
left.
Powerful shots by Joe Soto.
Warren needs to get this to the ground ASAP. He hasn't really committed to any takedowns. He's standing on the outside. He hasn't really rushed in. He hasn't gone for a double leg, hasn't tried to close the distance that much.
Warren eating those left hands. Straight lefts and counter lefts by Soto. Soto landing going forward and going backwards, Jimmy.
And that is not easy to do.
To his credit, Joe Warren still standing. He has taken some vicious shots.
That combination just keeps landing. Left hook over the top, right uppercut, right through the center.
Soto so confident, holding his hands, Roy Jones-like circa 1995.
Oh,
left
another
hand.
Good left. Those two punches are landing every time. Left hook over the top, right uppercut through the center. See how
Another
he's
left.
Timing that left hook right over top of Warren's jab. Warren just can't land right now.
Warren, one of the greatest American Greco-Roman wrestlers of his generation, cannot get this fight off the feet. Going for the single leg, cool as you like. Soto pulls out. 2 shots for good measure.
Now that's an option Soto has that Warren doesn't. Stuff the takedown and get back up and box. Soto doesn't have to use his entire wrestling arsenal. He doesn't have to take Warren down. Just stuff the shot, stay on the feet like Patricio Pitbull did in the first round.
Joe Warren telling us that my shoes could defeat Joe Soto in a wrestling match, but this obviously is not a wrestling match.
No, it is not.
Bouncing the step of Warren. Has turned his back, but he has not gone down. Big miss with the overhand right by Warren.
He told us that against Pitbull, he went to the corner and they said, stop turning your back. And he said, I didn't even remember turning my back. He did it several times against Pitbull.
Spinning back kick and then the slip by Warren.
Yeah, Soto's having some fun in there at Joe Warren's expense.
Warren telling us that he does not remember the final 30 seconds of round 1 of his fight versus Patricio Pitbull Freire. That the final of Bellator's Season 2 Featherweight Tournament.
Oh, he's not going to want to remember this first round at all because he is getting manhandled in there.
It's been all Joe Soto.
Bell, man, listen for the bell.
And we will go to round number 2.
Time. Good job. Good fight. Here we go.
Round number 2 of this Bellator World Featherweight Championship fight.
All right, here we go, round 2, let's go.
Joe Warren is in the black trunks, the champion Joe Soto in the white trunks. Jimmy, you have the unofficial scorecard.
Okay, oh my God, good right hand by Warren.
Now Warren pouncing and looking to finish with hammer fist, raining down the shots.
Watch the back of the head.
Soto now turning his back.
Clubbing shots. Warren now letting go with the hands and the knee, and Soto is out! That is it!
Whoa.
Game,
Stay right there.
set, match, Joe Warren, we have a new champion!
Unbelievable! Never count Joe Warren out of a fight, ever. Ever. Same thing against Patricio. Pitbull dominated in the first round and came back to win, this time in dramatic fashion. Forget the scorecards, they are irrelevant. I am stunned right here cage side, Sean. I am looking over at Bjorn Rebney, everybody from Bellator, they are in shock. Jaws are on the floor. Joe Soto asking what happened, he was out.
Jimmy, you were about to go to your scorecard. You had it 10-8 for Soto.
It was a wipeout, but guess what? He made it to round number 2. I'm gonna say it, he is the baddest man on the planet.
There are comebacks, and then there are comebacks.
Man, let's take another look at it. They started off, Joe Soto just clowning around a little too much, let his hands drop, and Joe Warren all over Joe Soto with the right hands. I think Soto took a bad one there. He's still with it, but he's rolling it, doesn't quite know where he is, and that right hand to the ear. That knee is the one that took him out. The knee followed by the left hook. Let's see if we can take a look at that again. Because it looked like Joe Soto was in the fight up until then. Right hands. Joe Warren trying to finish all over Joe Soto. Now, I think Joe Soto is still in the fight here. I think he knows what's happening. But as soon as he turned around, this knee, that left hand took him out of the fight. Beautiful stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 33 seconds into round number 2. The winner by knockout victory. And now, the new Bellator World Featherweight Champion, Joe Warren.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules and I expect you folks to follow them. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Any questions, gentlemen? Okay, touch gloves. Let's get ready to do it.
This Bellator World title fight is under the unified rules of MMA, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed.
Over here, Joe.
Jeff
Right
Malott
here.
is the
Over
referee.
Here, back up.
There you see the champion,
Right,
Joe Warren. He's in the
ready?
blue trunks.
Fight.
Pat Curran in the white trunks. Round number 1.
Joe Warren has to get inside and get a takedown early. That is vital. It's going to be very hard for him to win this fight on the outside.
The drive and the takedown by Warren. Remember Warren, a 2006 Greco-Roman Wrestling World Champion at 132 pounds.
Wow, great stand-up by Pat Curran. Warren still glued to him, though.
Warren said, my takedown is key. Curran said, defending his takedown is key.
One thing is, when Pat Curran gets taken down, he's so good at just springing back to his feet.
Warren with the waist cinch in belly-to-back suplex position. Warren's still active in Greco-Roman. He has designs on qualifying next month in Iowa City for the 2012 Summer Olympics.
Yeah, he's certainly a top-level grappler. Great Greco-Roman wrestler. You see the power here. Keeping Pat against the fence. He's got to be ready to do this for 25 minutes. Put pressure on Pat Curran, make him uncomfortable. Make this a close inside kind of fight.
One holding tight, good knee by Curran, counter knee. Both fighters throwing simultaneous knees. Each one with his back against the fence. Curran applying the pressure. Right hand by Curran. Feint by Curran.
One thing, Pat Curran very tight. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. He doesn't fight with a lot of urgency. Joe Warren has to push the pace. If Pat Curran isn't throwing the jab, change your level, get the takedown, stay in his face, pressure him just like this.
Knees by Warren, again in belly-to-back suplex position. Curran right back to his feet, and he backs off. Warren hands high. Curran 5'10", Warren 5'6". You see Warren dipping down, trying to make himself even smaller. Feint on the jump knee there by Curran. Driving for the single leg.
Uppercuts, knees are going to be important. Joe Warren does change level a lot. He brings his head down. Got to use those short wrestler stopping weapons like the uppercut and the knee.
Grab it.
Curran definitely has basic wrestling fundamentals. He was a very good high school wrestler in the state of Florida. Obviously, that's miles from being a Greco-Roman wrestling world champion, but he at least understands basic wrestling.
Oh, Joe Warren was also third in the NCAA Nationals. I think 133 pounds for University of Michigan. So he has great takedown skills. Was, I think, national record for takedowns for a lot of years belonged to Joe Warren.
Warren staying sticky, staying tight, now backs off.
Not just Greco-Roman, he has a great double leg.
Curran yet to establish his range, Jimmy.
Well, he's just not throwing a lot. If there's one weakness to Pat Curran's style, it's that he tends to wait and be very patient. He doesn't throw a lot of punches.
We saw that from Curran.
Oh, good head kick!
Big head kick there, and then the knee by Curran. Oh, another jump knee. Warren in all sorts of trouble, and Curran taking finish.
But he's a great finisher and has a lot of knockout power.
Curran overjumped the target there, but a knee to the body. Clinched by Warren.
Warren is wobbly. He is really hurt.
Just as you were saying he was too patient, he exploded, did Pat Curran.
Well, he doesn't throw a lot, but when he does, he's very accurate.
1 minute remaining in this opening round. Scheduled for 5 for the Bellator 145-pound world title.
Well, it looks a lot like a Joe Warren fight. He is staggered and rocked in the first round.
Joe Warren has 7 pro MMA wins. None of them have been easy. He's been in trouble in all 7 of his victories. 35 seconds remaining in round number 1 of this Bellator Featherweight World Championship fight. Pat Curran versus the champion Joe Warren.
Oh my God, what a knee!
Huge knee thrown by Curran, and yet Warren gets his back, gets the partial takedown. Now looking for the outside trip. Great balance by Curran.
This is gonna sound strange. My respect for Alexis Vila has gone through the roof. He put this guy down, and Pat Curran has leveled him, and he's still standing.
Takedown by Warren.
Man.
That's a great opening round to this world title fight.
It's a Joe Warren fight. He's rocked in the first round. You think he is finished. He somehow makes it to the bell.
Breathe, Joe, breathe. Now I want you to listen to Scotty real quick as I give you water.
Hey, we're good. Go. Beautiful. Look at me. Into your nose. I'll really break.
Hey.
Look at me. Look at me. This is our fight right now.
Joe.
You're doing the right thing. In the clinch, I want you to pummel to your Greco clinch, okay? Just close it off. No more head stuff. On the... Hey.
Hey.
I need you to be more active on your feet.
Hey, I want you to throw your rear raven. Your rear raven and move to your right, okay? You hear me? You caught him with your right hand. Get to the body, use your #1 combo, okay?
I think I broke my hand.
You're okay. Don't forget rear raven, okay?
Since then, Bellator 155-pound world champion Eddie Alvarez. Jimmy, I know, is a spinning back kick, misses by Warren. Your criticism of Curran on that night is that he kept going the same pace for 25 minutes, never really took any chances.
Now, the first 3 rounds are very important to me because Pat Curran, you know, against Eddie Alvarez, he's down 4 rounds to none, maybe 3 to 1. He knew he was behind in that 5th round, but he never unloaded and went screw it and threw a bunch of strikes. He basically fought at the same pace the entire fight. Against Marlon Sandro, down in the first round, down in the first 4 minutes of the 2nd round, but never really picked it up. He looks for good opportunities. He's a knockout puncher, but he's not a busy striker. That's the weakness of his style.
Curran back to his feet after that Warren takedown. Jimmy, how did you score round 1?
10-9 Pat Curran. He did more damage. That's what it's all about.
Both fighters circling.
Also, you have to wonder about Joe Warren. Yeah, he has great conditioning, but all these takedowns that aren't working, they cost you a lot of energy. You hear Jeff saying, let your hands go.
Jeff, of course, Jeff Curran, the cousin and mentor of Pat Curran.
Joe Warren has to put rounds in the bank. First, second, third round. He has to put rounds in the bank, get Pat Curran behind.
Outside kick by Warren. After this fight, our television broadcast will end, but Bellator 60 will continue with more live fights on Spike.com. Head kick by Warren, did not get through. Blood under the right eye of Curran. And that's a small mouse that is popped, and on cue, as I said it, Curran wiped at the blood.
Nice lead left by Pat Curran. You see, he's a counterpuncher generally. He generally waits for his opponent to come in. Doesn't often initiate with the jab.
Both men throwing left jabs, and you see Curran just has an incredible reach and range advantage.
Yeah, with that reach, you can't trade jabs on the outside.
We're driving for the single leg. Blood's flowing freely from the mouse that is popped under Curran's right eye. Warren trying to throw to the body. You see Warren throwing the knees. It's a good look at that blood.
What we've also seen in the past, it really happened to Patricio Pitbull. He threw the kitchen sink at Joe Warren and basically punched himself out. Didn't have a lot of gas for that second and third round. Pat Curran, doesn't throw a lot. He's not going to do that. He's going to snipe and conserve a lot of energy. He's ready for a 5-round fight. So Joe Warren, I don't think, can depend on Pat Curran working too hard to finish him and gassing out like Pitbull.
Gotta work out.
1:45 now remaining in round 2, and the takedown from Warren. Beautiful indeed, Jimmy.
Watch back ahead.
Now it remains to be seen, can he keep Pat Curran down?
Side control held by Warren.
Pat Curran gave up some takedowns to Roger Huerta, gave up a couple to Eddie Alvarez. Neither man could really hold him down just like that. Guy's good at getting up.
That blood's really flowing under the right eye. I'd rather be cut under my eye than over my eye, because the blood obviously goes down.
Good right hand by Pat.
Unless it's smeared, the blood obviously is not going to get into Curran's eye and affect his vision. Curran keeps pawing on it, though, Jimmy. You talk all the time about the fact that fighters react differently when they see their own blood.
Considering the fact that he was knocked out in his last fight by Alexis Villa, I'm impressed by his composure. He's staying very aggressive. He's got his hands very high. He's not afraid to get in there at striking range. He's not flinching as much as he used to, even though he just got knocked out. He's not fighting scared. He's going in there for it.
Keep going, all right.
Warren told me that when he switched from NCAA wrestling, folk style, to Greco-Roman wrestling, he lost all the time. He said, I had to learn. And he said, guess what? I'm a world champion, but I'm still learning in MMA. I got caught. I've moved on from it. Which is what you have to have as an attitude. Otherwise, your career is over.
And he's committed to the takedown this time around.
Good kick there by Curran. Head kick by Curran, then he slips.
Good job, gentlemen.
There you see Christy, Joe Warren's wife. So supportive of her husband. There are really two Joe Warrens. There's the baddest man on the planet, and there's the Joe Warren that says, you know what, I'm just trying to psych myself up and psych my opponents out.
This is our game now. We're getting ready to those championship rounds. Keep working him. On the ground, you got to control him first and listen. If he's going to get out, we're going to land some punches first, okay?
Joe, on the ground, I want you to control your base. Grind on him, get your elbows going, and fucking put him out of this fight.
Pick the pace up and more footwork, okay? Pick the pace up and
be aggressive on your guard. We're down 2 rounds. We either got to knock him out or submit him. I don't want to go to the...
All right, seconds out.
Right? No
seconds out.
Jeff Curran, Pat Curran's cousin, just said we're down 2 runs. But Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard, you gave Pat Curran round 1.
I disagree with Jeff Curran, but hey, the cornermen know their fighters best, and that may be what gets Pat Curran going, is thinking he's behind.
How did you see round 2?
10-9 for Pat Curran. He did more damage. Warren got a takedown, could not hold him down or do anything with it.
Entering the Summer Series 2011 Featherweight Tournament, which Curran won, to advance into this world title fight, Pat Curran was walking at 175 pounds. Entering this fight, he's been walking at 165 pounds. Joe Warren walks at 145 pounds.
You can see the strength of Pat Curran. When he hits Joe, it hurts him.
Warren looking for the shot, couldn't find it.
And also when he shoots in, Pat Curran just pushes down on his head, bullies his head around, and is able to stop that takedown. You can do that when you're the bigger, stronger guy, and Pat Curran clearly is.
Warren trying to throw the 1-2. Neither the 1, the left, nor the 2, the right got through. Warren was talking to his Jimmy. In his terms, he said Pat Curran looks sucked out. He said he looks like he's had too severe of a weight cut. I'm going to take advantage.
Oh, big knee! He's hurt!
Warren
He's really hurt!
Trouble. Curran looking to finish. The end could be near. Curran letting go.
This is going to be stopped right now. Joe Warren's hanging on, but
Warren have it now with the left, another left. Referee Jeff Millett taking a really close look. Warren is nearly done, turning his back.
They need to stop this. He's done.
Jump knee, right hand, uppercut, right hand, uppercut, uppercut. That is it. Game, set, match, and Pat Curran is Bellator's new featherweight world champion.
Wow, Joe Warren took a ton of shots. That is a vicious knockout.
Let him in. I got it.
Pat Curran did what he was supposed to do. He unloaded. But man, I think the referee could have stepped in 10, 15 seconds earlier. He was badly hurt.
Against his will, as a reaction, like blinking, Joe Warren turned his back to those strikes. That's physical surrender. Consciously or unconsciously, Joe Warren physically surrendered. That's when you have to stop the fight.
That's 2 brutal knockouts in a row. And you see, ate the flying knee from here. He is on rubber legs, but right here, if there is no fence, he falls down right here. The fence is basically holding him up. He does not know where he is. He's trying to fall, and he can't.
Watch him turn his back here, Jimmy.
Man, I think all the shots after this are completely unnecessary. He's clearly out. He's on his feet, but he is out. Man, that's a vicious knockout, 2 in a row. You see with that knee right on the jaw. Now right here, he is no longer, in my mind, intelligently defending himself. Right here, he's not. He's got his hands up, and he is not intelligently defending himself. This shot from here, when he turns, you see here, he turns away from the shot. Should have been stopped right there. I think all these punches and knees are unnecessary. He is seriously hurt. Man.
I was taught that as a boxing referee, Jimmy. When the fighter turns his back to strikes, you stop the fight. 1:25, the time of the finish. Right now it's listed as a knockout. I don't think it'll be changed to a TKO. That's up to the commission. To me, that's a clean knockout. Regardless, Pat Curran has the victory in round number 3. He is Bellator's new 145-pound world champion. How amazing is this, Jimmy? April of 2010, 22-year-old Pat Curran comes into the tournament because Mike Corey, his teammate, had to pull out through injury. Curran was 3-2 in his previous 5 fights before coming to Bellator, fighting on the Midwest circuit against undefeated Canadian Mike Ricci, a protege of Georges St. Pierre, who many people tipped to win the tournament. Curran knocked Ricci out in round 1, and Curran has been on the proverbial ride of his life since.
To me, that's what Bellator is all about, is young guys on a level playing field beating the best. You see here, he came in, bang, flying knee right to the chin. Not even a flying knee, dropped his head, ran right into it, and Joe Warren, man, it's just his heart kept him afloat, but man, he was out, on his feet, but did not know where he was. Beautiful job by Pat Curran.
Both men were supremely, and I mean supremely confident. No posturing, but supremely confident that they would win. Curran much more low-key in his confidence. Warren obviously much more outspoken in his confidence, but it was the quiet confidence of Pat Curran that ultimately shines through. Here is Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the official time, 1 minute, 25 seconds into round number 3. The winner by knockout, and now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Patty Boy Curran.
Okay, fighters have gone over the rules in the back. This is for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. No final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
Slippery.
This Bellator World Championship fight is brought to you with limited commercial interruption by Reebok ATV 19. All 3 Bellator World title fights tonight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Beg your pardon, 5 rounds. Math wasn't my thing, Jimmy.
I help you when I can, buddy.
Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Round number 1 of 5.
His first round, very crucial. One of the things about Pat Curran, he tends to be a slow starter. He finds the opening and he takes it. Daniel Straus tends to be a fast starter and wear guys down. Who will set the pace?
Straus is in the white and black trunks, the champion Curran in the white trunks.
No surprise there, diving for the takedown.
In for the takedown and successfully gets it, does Daniel Straus.
Now, if there's a negative to Pat Curran's style, you saw it when he fought Eddie Alvarez. He was down in that 5th round, optimistically, 3 rounds to 1, and yet never turned it on. If he doesn't find an opening, he's not that good at making one. He'll wait for it. If he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it. Problem is, he can let rounds slip away that way. He can't afford to have that happen against Daniel Straus.
Curran back to his feet, gets the separation. Center of the Bellator cage. Two from Straus. Early on, the patience of the champion Pat Curran evident.
This is Pat Curran's kind of pace right now.
Let's go get that. There you go.
Straus looked for the level change, couldn't find it.
He ate some damage from Patricio Pitbull until he was able to get his timing later on in the fight. Daniel Straus, for his part, doesn't want to walk into anything, doesn't want to eat a counter shot while he's being aggressive.
Left hand from Straus.
Finding a southpaw, that can affect your timing as well. The power shot becomes your money punch. He uses jab very effectively against Pitbull. Can't use it as well against the southpaw.
Herzog recognizes the low blow, time called.
We have you in a neutral corner. Take a little time. How you doing? Yeah. You ready? Yeah? Just watch your cup. Yeah? Fight.
Straus had 5 minutes to recover. Took what? 20 seconds. Time in. Round 1 continues. Stepping knee from Curran, right back out.
Curran turn it up a bit.
Straus closing distance, driving Curran back. Standing elbow from Curran, then the uppercut. Still Straus right in on him, chest to chest, Jimmy. Hands high for both fighters, center of the Bellator cage. Kick not getting through.
Good job with that step in 1-2. He's caught Curran with that a couple times.
Straus looking for the ankle pick and he gets the takedown. Big downward elbow strikes from Curran. Curran again right back to his feet. Straus has the waist cinch. Straus looking for the takedown from this position. Final minute, round number 1, scheduled for 5. This for Bellator's featherweight world title. See, I got the rounds right there.
I'm proud of you, Sean. This is what Pat Curran didn't want. He didn't want to be taken down. He didn't want to be held against the fence. This is where Daniel Straus is so good at wearing opponents down. He's good at winning long, grueling fights, only 8 finishes and 21 wins. Most of the time, he takes guys into deep water and drowns them.
Kicked in the 1-2 from Curran.
Right here.
The end of round number 1.
You open, you react good. You're gonna hit the sprawl. So keep the fight in the middle. All right, you want more?
Into the corner of the champion, Pat Curran, led by his cousin, Jeff Curran.
Nothing desperate right now. Let's just keep trying to get control of this, okay?
Our corner cam brought to you by Reebok ATV 19. You just saw Courtney Prather. There she is. Our guest Bellator girl, courtesy of thechive.com. Jimmy, round number 1, what'd you think?
Very close first round. I went 10-9. Daniel Straus got a couple takedowns, landed a couple good left hands, and he was the aggressor. He was the one pushing forward. I give it a slight edge to him. 10-9, could have gone either way.
Straus looking for the takedown, couldn't find it. Nicely defended by Curran.
See, Curran now starting off a lot faster. A little more urgency behind his strikes in this second round.
Hallmark of Curran throughout his Bellator career, Jimmy, has been patience.
Very patient, but he has to know when to turn it on. You can't be so patient that you let rounds slip away, and that's why I think he's starting faster in this second round.
You see Straus trying to step in with the 1-2. Left hand from Straus.
Here's corner saying over and over again, don't reach. They're very conscious of the counter-striking of Pat Curran. He doesn't want to reach with his punches, not bring his hand back.
What did Straus tell us, Jimmy? Don't stand there and wait to see what Curran does in the center of the cage. Be first. Straus trying to be first, good body kick. Curran hands high and tight, right hand. I think that was more of a slip, right back to his feet.
It's a push and he slipped backwards. Both guys very tight, not giving the other guy a lot of opportunities to hit him.
Now Straus coming forward. With that left hand. Straus now from the tie plum. Good body shots by Curran. Straus missing with that elbow.
Both guys mixing it up really well on the inside. Curran starting out with the body shots, then going high.
Strauss finding that kick, Jimmy, just above the waistline.
Because Curran's doing a really good job of protecting his chin. He doesn't leave a lot of targets open.
Curran with the body kick. And unloading with the punches. Strauss in for the clinch. There's the separation again.
That's the kind of defense Pat Curran wants. Circle away from the fence, angle off, control the head of Daniel Straus, get back to the center.
Keep going, champ. Keep getting off front, champ. Box, champ. 1 minute left, champ. Beautiful round. Beautiful. Let it go. Let it go.
Feint by Strauss.
Let it go. Down the fight, Daniel. Down the fight. Down the fight, Daniel.
40 seconds. Curran not getting that kick through. Throwing head kicks, Jimmy, neither successfully thus far.
Well, both guys are tight. Both guys hands up, ready to defend. I mean, not a lot of strikes have gotten through, period. Nice, over the top elbow.
20 seconds remaining, round number 2. Strauss versus the champion Curran for the Bellator Featherweight World title. Left hand from the champion, Pat Curran. Good left hand, the counter from Strauss. Pat Curran looking for his third successful defense of his Bellator 145-pound world title versus Daniel Straus. Jimmy, through 2 rounds, how do you have it?
I have it all tied up. I gave Curran the last round 10-9. Thought he landed the more effective strike, started throwing in combination. I have it all tied up, 19 apiece.
Fans voting on the Bellator app, you have it 2 rounds to none, giving Pat Curran both rounds 1 and 2, 10-9.
Round 1, very, very close, could have gone either way. Pat Curran, I think, fought like he was down 1 round. He started much faster in that 2nd round. Ricardo Laborio told Daniel Straus in between rounds, you cannot lose any more rounds. You got to take all of them.
Double right jab from the southpaw stance of Straus. Check on the knee from Curran. Straus looking for the takedown, driving hard.
That's a good transition from striking to the takedown. Tell Straus been working on his takedown defense for this fight.
See the big wide base of Curran. Keeping his balance, defending this takedown attempt of Daniel Straus.
Let's go, champion. 1-2, down the fight. 1-2, down the fight.
Straus staying very sticky, Jimmy. Heavy pressure from Daniel Straus. Curran with his back against the fence.
This is tactic in a lot of fights. Put his opponent up against the fence, wear him down with short strikes.
Fishing for a trip as Straus not finding it. Curran showing outstanding balance in defense.
Oh, beautiful throw.
Big throw, but right into the fence, and Curran immediately back to his feet. In the center of the Bellator cage, maybe the result a little different.
Yeah, definitely. That cage helped him out. Now he's looking for a takedown of his own. That's one thing Pat Curran doesn't often do, is use his takedown offensively. I'm sorry, his wrestling offensively. Usually uses his defense to keep a fight on the feet. Doesn't often use it offensively.
Still to come, main event, big knee, and that's on a grounded opponent.
That's an illegal shot.
Time called by Jason Herzog.
Man, and Daniel Straus is in trouble. Oh, crap.
You okay? I need you to take some time here. Take some time, Daniel. I know you're
That is not good. Take a look at it here.
I'm just going to have you come to your knees, okay? How do you feel right now? Yeah?
Yep.
Take a little bit of time, okay?
Knee on the ground. That's an illegal shot, and that is hard.
Anything but the flats of your feet make you grounded, and clearly the one knee down for Straus. You see the left knee.
Oh, he knew immediately what he did wrong.
Okay, then I'm going to have the doctor.
That could be huge.
A little bit. There we go.
Now on a low blow, you have 5 minutes to recover. In this situation, it's a quote-unquote reasonable amount of time. Reasonable to whom? To the referee.
I'm just going to have the doctor come talk to you, okay?
Herzog's calling in the cage side physician.
Guys, I can't have you coach him. I can't have you coach him. Please, right here. It's right here. It's okay.
Question is how the referee is going to handle this. It's pretty egregious. The guy's on his knees. A lot of times, one infraction like that will cost you a point. The question is, what if he can't continue? What's the call on that? No contest, or is he disqualified?
3 rounds must be completed in a 5-round fight. So if we've not completed the full 3 rounds, it would be a no contest unless it's a disqualification, and this is not going to be a disqualification.
I wouldn't say that yet. I've seen them for less.
He looks a little dazed.
It's one of those gray areas in MMA. You never know which way it's going to go.
Certainly could be a disqualification. I think it's highly, highly unlikely.
You see that illegal knee, and they are taking away a point from Pat Curran. Yeah, usually with a shot like that, it's egregious. They're going to take away a point.
That's a situation where Herzog doesn't care about intent. I'm sure he will tell you there was no ill intent to cheat, to commit an obvious foul by Pat Curran, but it's still a foul, and it's a 1-point deduction.
Daniel.
That's huge. In a fight like this, it's been so close. This could mean the whole fight.
Time in, round 3 continues, but Curran down 1 point, deducted for that illegal knee on the grounded Daniel Straus.
Good takedown. Daniel Straus on top and around the guard for the first time. Man, this will change things in a big way if he loses this round. That's 2 points.
Side control for Straus. Absolutely, Jimmy, we could be headed towards a 10-8 round.
That's hard to come back from even in a 5-round fight. Especially with all the close rounds we've had.
Straus grinding with the elbow and the forearm from side control. Final minute, round number 3. Tight close guard from Curran. Jimmy, do you think that 1-point deduction is going to play on the mind of Curran?
Yeah, it has to. If he's smart, which he is, that's going to have a huge effect.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Open guard now from Curran. Straus holding this top position.
Trying to lock up the triangle, but that's the opportunity for Straus to pass, and he does.
The end of round 3, and here come the championship rounds.
Fourth round, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight!
So with that 1-point deduction in mind, Jimmy, what do you think?
10-8 for Daniel Straus, a huge round for him. close, though. You could have called it 9-9, but I thought Daniel Straus took it.
Overhook held by Straus. Straus embraces the role of grinder.
He's proud of the fact that he doesn't have a lot of finishes on his record. He says, nobody can go the distance with me. That's what he's so proud of. A lot of guys talk about what great finishers they are. Daniel Straus talks about how I grind guys out and win decisions. He's proud of that, Sean.
And the way Straus tells it, and feel free to dissent, it's a lot tougher to dominate an opponent over 15 or 25 minutes than to finish them quickly. Not everyone sees it that way, but that's the view of Straus. He would certainly love to finish the champion, Pat Curran, and take the title, but he is also happy for a methodical, grinding pace if he feels that he's in control. 3:30 remaining, round number 4. Looking for the takedown, and he gets it. From belly to back position.
Pure wrestling right here. Great control by Daniel Straus. Has to do something with it, though. Notice he's not even throwing any strikes, just holding Pat Curran down.
Interesting that Curran grounding himself there with his left knee. Next Friday, the heavyweight tournament final, Czech Congo versus Peter Graham. The winner earns a world title shot.
Straus not doing much here, but not getting any warning so far from Jason Herzog.
Not doing much other than just being tenacious.
Being tenacious, throwing short little knees to the legs. Oh man, Pat Curran cannot let another round slip away with that 1-point deduction. That cannot happen. Pat Curran in guillotine position, but doesn't have the guard positioning to finish it.
One more holding guillotine position than locking it on. Now putting in a bit more torque.
Needs his hips to really put in torque. Now he has full guard.
Closes guard. Now going for the guillotine to finish is Pat Curran. 90 seconds remaining, round number 4.
Nice great front check, front chokes. Can't tell how tight it is from here. He's out.
No panic from Daniel Straus at all defending that submission attempt, Jimmy.
It's one of those things that a guillotine, you can't really tell how deep it is unless you're in it. It's hard. From the outside, it can look tight and the guy will be fine. Other times, it doesn't look that good and the guy is out. You can't tell. Daniel Straus, with his experience, it's going to be tough to finish in the guillotine.
Body head with the left from Straus. Hammer fist to the body. Straus now looking for his own guillotine.
It's going to be hard to get if he doesn't step over the knee. A Pat Curran cut looks like on the scalp. Looks like a scalp cut.
It's exactly what it is. Great camera work from our Bellator production crew. You see that cut. Final seconds of round number 4. The 5th and final round of this Bellator Featherweight World Title fight. Pat Curran looking to successfully defend his title versus that man, Daniel Straus. The third time for both fighters that they have gone into the fifth round.
Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Let's fight!
Jimmy, how do you have this?
10-9 in the last round for Daniel Straus. Pat Curran needs a finish on my scorecard in this final round to retain his title.
And again,
on my scorecard, he cannot win a decision.
And again, because of the point deduction, for the knee to the ground in Daniel Straus illegally, a 10-8 round on your scorecard for Straus round number 3.
Exactly, that's the big difference maker. There's a question about Pat Curran. Pat Curran, you talk about he's methodical, he finds his opening. He needs an opening right now. If one isn't there, he's got to make one. He's usually not that kind of fighter. Can he come back and make an opening when he needs to? That's the huge question right now.
Stepping kick by Straus. In and out from Daniel Straus.
So far, he hasn't been able to hurt Straus. Hasn't landed any big shots. He's got to knock him out. That is not easy to do.
Flying knee, then a second jump knee from Daniel Straus. Straight right hand, counter left.
That left hand hurt him.
Straus looking to turn things up with more punches, backing off the champion. A knee, then looking for the takedown, couldn't find it.
Pat Curran is a cerebral fighter. He needs to sell out and take some big risks right now and finish this fight. If not, his championship reign ends in 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
As this fight has progressed, Jimmy, Straus has given Curran less and less space, standing and on the ground.
I'm impressed with Straus. He's fighting his kind of fight. Grueling, active, in Pat Curran's face, keeping the fight very close. It's the kind of fight he loves. Pat Curran needs to get off the fence, and he needs to get off the fence right now.
Thumbs up from Daniel Straus to his corner. Sign of a very confident fighter throwing the thumbs up.
And don't get cocky now. 2 minutes left. He's fighting a very dangerous fighter here. Pat Curran needs to break off, get back into striking range. Takedown, I don't think helps him. You see him working hard for this double leg, but even if he gets Daniel Straus down, unless he lands some serious ground and pound, it's going to be hard to finish this fight. I think he has a better chance of finishing it on the feet.
Straus went for the hip toss. Well defended by Curran. 125 to go in this Bellator Featherweight World title fight. Fifth and final round. Curran looking for the outside trip. Could not find that.
He's been dominant at 145 pounds. Not dominant tonight. Could be 1 minute left in Pat Curran's title reign.
Here is the 25th and final minute of this Featherweight World title fight. Four and a half years ago, as virtual unknowns, Pat Curran knocked out Daniel Straus in round number 2. Tonight, as two of the best 145-pounders in the world, they are throwing down in the Bellator cage. The winner is Bellator's Featherweight World titleist. Will it be Straus, or has Curran done enough to retain the belt? Takedown from Straus. Final seconds. Open guard from Curran. Straus looking to unload with the left hand. Body head from Straus. And that's the end of the fight.
I talked about pace in the beginning of the fight. This fight was fought at Daniel Straus's pace throughout.
On the other side of the break, we will see who emerges as the Bellator Featherweight World Champion. Round number 3, Pat Curran deducted 1 point by Jason Herzog, an illegal knee on a grounded Daniel Straus. Jimmy, how does that impact your final scorecard?
45-49 for Daniel Straus. I only gave Pat Curran round number 2.
Let's go to Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Derek Cleary, scores the fight 49-45. While judges Rob McCarthy and Mike Beltran both see the fight the same at 48-46. They see it all for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Daniel Straus.
All right, listen up, fighters. You both received your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all times. Have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Red? How about you, Blue? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
Jimmy, your keys to victory are presented by Victory Motorcycles. Ride one and you'll own one.
Pat Curran, avoid the clinches, stay busy with his punches. I didn't think he threw enough in the last fight. Daniel Straus worked that takedown early and often. Stay inside Curran's punches. Pat Curran throws long, straight punches. He wants to get inside of them.
Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for that title. The Bellator Featherweight World Championship and round number 1. Our fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Curran, the former champion, is in the white trunks with the black trim. Straus, the reigning champion, is in the white trunks. Trying to explode in Jimmy with the right hand.
Pat Curran in the past has had a tendency to start slowly. I think he needs to set a precedent for a lot more punches. Oh, that knee caught him coming in.
Slipped by Curran and he ate that big knee. Elbow from Curran.
Curran going for a takedown of his own. He doesn't often do that. Uses his wrestling generally defensively to keep a fight on the feet. It was Straus working the takedown in their second fight.
Keep working.
Gary Copeland telling both fighters to keep working.
Beautiful trip.
Straus trying to scramble, now into open guard.
Half butterfly guard, look for Pat Curran to pass to that weak side, the right side. Got to put his hips over the left knee of Daniel Straus. Talking to his cousin and coach, Jeff Curran, all he talks about is how good this guy is on the ground.
Body lock from the bottom from Straus.
Another thing, you don't see Straus on his back a lot. Used to being on top, he's used to being the grinder. Inverted triangle position. This would be tough to get. He lets it go.
Straus fishing for an ankle, can't find it. Curran right back on his man.
Saw against Luis Palomino, he has a wicked Peruvian necktie, but he's circling around to the back.
Looking for a guillotine now is Curran.
That's how he finished Shabalat Shamalayev in their fight. He has great front chokes.
Straus keeping a low, tight base.
This first round, Pat Curran being much more aggressive than we've seen him in past fights. He's trying to send a message here.
Short elbows from Curran.
Straus trying to explode, but he's got to be cautious here. It's a legal knee, that's to the shoulder.
Knee to the arm now from Curran. Straus back to his feet. Good explosion from Straus. Curran looking very aggressive early, Jimmy.
Little bit of a reversal. Pat Curran starting strong. Daniel Straus, the champ, a little bit tentative in this first round.
Straus looking for the body lock and the turn, the attempted turn from Curran. Knee from Curran. Fished for the inside trip, could not find it. Outside trip.
Now committing to the double leg, switching to a single. They're going for the front choke. Modified guillotine.
Straus trying to lock on for the finish.
He's working hard for it.
20 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Pat Curran trying to spin his way out. He's
Straus
out.
lost it. Straus staying tight. The end of round 1. Pat Curran taking the advice of his cousin, his chief second, his trainer, Jeff Curran. Round number 2, saw Conan Silvea in the corner of Daniel Straus. Jimmy, your scorecard round 1.
10-9 Pat Curran. Daniel Straus, his offense was that guillotine at the end. Pat Curran, the aggressor in that first round. Some good work on the ground. See Daniel Straus trying to get it back. Jeff Curran warned Pat Curran about that. He's going to want some get back in this second round. I thought it would be the takedown, but Daniel Straus ready to bang. That's what you have to watch out for with Straus. Not necessarily. Oh my God!
Left hand by Straus and he pounces.
I was about to say not known as a finisher, but he throws a lot. That was a good left hook. Caught Pat Curran completely by surprise.
Curran back to his feet. Straus just missed with that big left hook. And a great show of respect from these two fighters.
That crowd is loving this. Man, a lot of trouble for Pat Curran. That right eye is a mess. Cut, swelling, both above and below the eye. I was about to say before he dropped him is Daniel Straus tends to be a busy striker. Not necessarily a finisher with his hands, but throws a lot of punches. You don't want to let him get into a rhythm where he feels confident with that offense.
Feint with the left hand from Straus. His corner, Jimmy, imploring Straus, start touching Curran on his eye.
That's actually a dude screaming from the audience, and he's right. That's a knowledgeable fan right there, because that's what he needs to do, but it's Pat Curran with the offense against the fence.
Curran cut outside of his right brow, and as you see the swelling under the right eye as well.
What we're seeing from both guys is they're respecting the counter-punching of the other. They get in, they land some shots, but they get out again. They're a little hesitant to stay there and work for the finish. They don't want to eat a counter-punch.
.25 remaining round 2. Body kick landed by Straus.
Both guys fighting in flurries and then resetting. They don't want to stand in front of him too long and eat that counter shot. Pat Curran, deadly counter puncher.
Bellator debut, Mike Ricci found out exactly how hard Pat Curran can hit. Marlon Sandro, same thing, knocked him out with a kick after an aggressive start.
Curran's win over Straus, April 2009, second round knockout. That was before both fighters came to Bellator. Curran dismisses that. He said we were two different people then, but still. Maybe two different people, but Curran even then as that person had one-punch knockout power.
Surprised we haven't seen more of Straus trying to push Curran up against the fence. That was his key to the victory last time when he took the title. A lot of clinch work, a lot of fence work. He seems content to work out in the middle of the cage. Nice counter left.
Beautiful left from Straus.
Both guys showing new tools in this fight. Looks like he's making a statement. I'm the champ. I'm taking the center of the cage. You gotta come take that belt from me. Those guys landing good body kicks. That was a great one from Pat Curran.
Have a look at that deep laceration outside of Curran's right eye. Now he comes in. Straus was thinking about a jump knee. There's a jump knee from Curran. Two rounds now in the books of this world title fight.
Round three, you ready, Red? Round three, you ready, Blue? Let's fight.
Round number 3 of this Bellator Featherweight world title fight. Jimmy, how do you have it so far?
I have it all tied up. I give that last round to the champ, Daniel Straus. Basically on that shot, hurting him on the ground. I think he took his foot off the gas. He let Pat Curran back into that round. I don't think Curran won it back, though. Slightly different approach from Daniel Straus. He's fighting in spurts. We're used to him pushing the pace the whole time. That is not how he's been approaching this fight.
Big swing and a miss from Straus with the left hook.
Sound advice in the corner. Jeff Curran telling Pat Curran, hurt him. Don't make this a boxing match. Step in and make him fear you.
Good right hand on the inside from Curran.
Both guys landing well. Good left, good right.
Curran from the tie plug. Straus gestures as though to say, is that all you've got?
Good effective defense that whole time by Daniel Straus, but it piles up points. He's being the aggressor. He's Pat Curran.
Push kick from Curran. Low kick from Straus to answer.
Now, I'm really surprised at the end of shots like that that drive Pat Curran back, Daniel Straus doesn't fall him to the fence. He did that a lot in their last fight. Center of the cage strategy seems more like it plays into Pat Curran's strengths, although he has been doing well. Neither guy giving any ground in this fight. Nice.
Very nice left hand from Straus, then the level change.
Not a lot of commitment with the hips on that takedown. Nice knees by Pat Curran.
Curran looking for a level change of his own. Well defended from the champion, Daniel Straus.
Stay busy. Fight off the cage, guys. Fight off the cage.
Gary Copeland telling both fighters to stay busy, fight off the cage.
Let's advance, guys.
Two outstanding featherweights. See top of the crossbar of the Bellator cage, the names of two great lightweights. Their trilogy on pay-per-view May 17th. This, the third fight of this outstanding trilogy, and there's the takedown and the drive-through from Straus.
Beautiful outside trip. That's where Pat Curran does not want to be, going for the switch.
Straus looking very quick on the ground, Jimmy.
These guys so evenly matched just about everywhere.
Left to the body from Straus.
Back and forth we go.
90 seconds remaining, round number 3. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds in this fight for the Bellator Featherweight World title. Heavy pressure now from Curran.
Stay busy, guys. Right off the cage.
And Copeland telling both fighters to stay busy. Knee from Curran. They're trying to change levels.
So hard to commit your hips against a guy like Daniel Straus. Nice over the top elbow.
Clubbing left hand by Straus. Curran rolling, was trying to find an ankle. Curran from the bottom, trying to keep Straus close and out of striking range. Straus hard right to the rib cage.
They try to commit to that pass. Pass to the right on Pat Curran. Pat Curran sitting up for the guillotine, not going to get it from there.
The end of round 3, and we are moving to deep water. Daniel Straus, Bellator's reigning featherweight world champion, facing the man who previously held this title, Pat Curran. Jimmy, what do you think thus far?
Oh, good left hand. So far, my scorecard, 2 rounds to 1 for Daniel Straus. I gave him that last round very close. I thought he finished strong. Won back that round, but could have gone either way. But man, Straus starting fast in round number 4.
This is the 25th pro MMA fight for Pat Curran, the 4th time he has gone past 3 rounds. For Daniel Straus, pro MMA fight number 27, his 4th time past 3 rounds.
The gas tank is what Daniel Straus is known for. Fast start may have sent a message, hey, I have plenty of gas for rounds 4 and 5. Don't think I'm going to slow down.
Good, clever turn from Straus. Curran trying to turn right back, and he does.
Curran's done well with his body lock position, but hasn't done a ton with it. A couple of outside trips to see what he does with it.
Okay, show me something effective. Advancing position, guys.
The Bellator World title fights continue live on Spike next Friday night. For the light heavyweight world championship, Attila Veg versus Emmanuel Newton. We'll begin 9 p.m. Eastern time, as always, live right here on Spike.
Pat Curran just holding this position, not doing a lot with it. I mean, it's a good reset by the referee.
We start from Copeland, center of the Bellator cage. Straus trying to move forward, lands that high knee.
Changed in midair, went from a kick to a knee.
Kicks canceling each other out. Flip the cup.
Go to neutral corner,
It went underneath the leg and hit the cup.
All right,
I think he'll be all right.
Come over here.
Time called by Copeland.
You guys are mixing up. It was inadvertent. Just take your time. Relax, okay?
Referee told him to relax. He wants back in there.
You ready? Hold on. My timekeeper ready? You ready? Ready? Fight. Let's watch him.
Straus was given 5 minutes, didn't even want 5 seconds. He was ready before the timekeeper.
Yeah, that's confidence in his gas tank.
Time in, round 4 continues. 2:45 now remaining in this round.
He doesn't want to give Pat Curran any breaks. He believes in his conditioning. Good short punches by Pat Curran.
Straus trying to open things up. Thus far, Jimmy, Curran's eye, which was cut in round 1, has not been a factor. At least not a major factor. Low kick now from Straus.
Pat's output shutting down a little bit, looking to counter strike, but not initiating like he was in the earlier rounds. So far, it's Daniel Straus punching first. Nice uppercut. That's the weakness to Pat Curran's style against Daniel Straus is he tends to wait for that opening and counter punch. Daniel Straus won their last fight being the busier fighter. That's what he's doing again in round 4.
Body kick caught by Straus.
I just sort of think it was that same fan yelling, he's waiting for the shot, Daniel. That's true, he's waiting for that one counter punch.
It's a knowledgeable fan.
Daniel Straus fan, apparently. Put that guy in the corner. Oh, nice body kick.
That landed flush from Curran.
And Daniel Straus using the jab very effectively. That's hard to do if you're a southpaw against an orthodox fighter. And he's landed that jab, he's done well with it.
Able to finish that exchange landing from Straus. We're looking to go to the body with that right hand. Closing stages, round number 4. Both fighters center of the Bellator cage. We are going to the 5th and final round. November of last year, Daniel Straus took the world title from Pat Curran by winning a 5-round unanimous decision. Round number 5 now of the rematch. Great respect from these two fighters. Jimmy, how do you see it through 4 rounds?
I have it 3 rounds to 1 for Daniel Straus. Just outworked Pat Curran in that last round. On my scorecard, Pat Curran needs a finish in this final round. There was some concern in between rounds from Jeff Curran saying the same thing. It's close, we need a finish. Power strikes Daniel Straus, 23, Pat Curran, 15.
Let's advance, guys.
We were wondering if the weight cut would affect him in the championship rounds. He's looked great after the 3rd. Has not been slowing down.
Knee from Straus. We're trying to turn Straus with the body lock. And he does. This round to complete the trilogy. Began in 2009.
Okay, stop. Separate. Hey, time.
Time called by Copeland.
Time, real quick. Give me a towel. You got excessive Vaseline.
Excessive Vaseline.
All right, turn around. You ready?
I love that, no towel, wiped it off with his hand.
Closing stages of this 5-round fight for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. Former champion Pat Curran versus the reigning champion Daniel Straus. 3:30 remaining now in this fight. Good right hand by Curran on the inside. Rubbing left by Straus as he steps forward.
Pat Curran busier in this 5th round. He's showing a little more urgency.
Straus not getting that head kick through.
2.5 left. Can Pat Curran turn it around? Can he turn up the volume? That's been his problem in the past.
Straus finishing that last exchange with the body kick. Straus trying to come forward ever so slightly. Attempted the level change from Daniel Straus, nothing there. Curran trying to drop levels.
Does he have the energy to take Daniel Straus down? Giant featherweight with great balance.
Two phenomenally conditioned athletes, truly two of the best featherweights in the world.
He got it.
Curran now looking to take the back. You see one hook is in.
Now both hooks.
70 seconds remaining in this fight. Can Curran find the finish? Looking for the rear naked choke to win back the title. Thumbs up from Straus.
You see his hips are turned. Pat Curran is not all the way behind him. Cage is stopping him from getting all the way behind him. Pat Curran has to decide, do I give it all to this choke? Do I try to finish it with strikes? Only 42 seconds left. Giving the thumbs up again. It's do or die right now for Pat Curran.
Curran trying to fully slide down and lock on the rear naked choke to finish this fight.
What an amazing comeback this would be.
Full commitment now from Pat Curran.
He taps, there's the tap! And just like that, in the dying seconds of this fight, Pat Curran has won back the Bellator Featherweight World title.
In a round he needed a finish to win. He got the finish with less than a minute left. That's a championship performance. My hat's off to both of these fighters. What an amazing fight.
What class, what sportsmanship from both. Look at the mutual respect. Look at the camaraderie.
I'm saying screw the trilogy. I want best of 5. What an amazing fight. Both guys gave it everything they had. And Pat Curran gets the rear naked choke finish. Really a desperation finish, and he got it.
Let's take you now to the end of this amazing fight, brought to you by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
The mistake Daniel Straus made crawling to the fence and taking his hands away from his neck once Pat Curran was on him. See the thumbs up, but he just kept getting tighter until he had it locked in. Elation on the face of the new featherweight champion, Pat Curran. He earned this win tonight.
Jimmy, on your scorecard, heading into round 5, you had it 3-1 in favor of Straus. So on your scorecard, if Curran doesn't finish with that submission, he loses this fight.
He certainly does. I mean, he had some close rounds. It's hard to tell, but I had him behind. He needed finish, and that's exactly what he got.
Two absolutely great warriors. Pat Curran, the former and now again the Bellator Featherweight World Champion. Absolutely phenomenal from both Curran and Straus. Here's Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes officially. The tap by way of a rear naked choke. The time, 4 minutes, 46 seconds into round number 5 for the winner by submission. And now, once again, the Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Pat Curran.
Guys, this is 5 rounds on the unified rules for the Featherweight World title. I want a good, clean, fair fight. Watch the head clashes, watch the low blows. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Touch gloves if you want, come out swinging.
Jimmy, your keys to victory for both fighters.
Patricio Pitbull, get inside Curran's range, use that leg kick early and often. Pat Curran has to stay behind the jab and work angles constantly. Don't stand in front of the hard-hitting Pitbull.
Pitbull versus the champion Curran, part 2, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds at stake, Bellator's Featherweight World title.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go!
Round number 1. Our fight clock is brought to you by the official beer, Bellator Miller Lite, back in its original look. It's Miller time.
One question is, will Pat Curran have a slow start? He usually feels out the first couple rounds. Is he going to start faster in this fight?
The Brazilian Patricio Pitbull is in the black trunks. Pat Curran, the American, he's in the white and black trunks. Almost on cue, Jimmy, the chant of USA, USA, our Connecticut crowd here in Mohegan Sun. Opening minute, opening round of this Bellator Featherweight World Championship rematch. Patricio Pitbull versus the title holder, Pat Curran. Glad you're with us for Bellator MMA as we are live on Spike.
I already see a change in the style of Pitbull. He's throwing those leg kicks a lot more often, and he's not throwing those wild strikes. He's staying tight. Hands high. He ate a lot of counter punches in the first fight.
More of a bounce too in Pitbull's step, Jimmy. Really up on his toes, a lot of movement. A lot of lateral movement especially. Slip by Curran, Pitbull pounces. And not getting through.
Different stance this time around as well. First fight, Pitbull took the center of the cage. Pat played the outside. It's the opposite in the start of this fight. Right now it's Pat claiming the center. Pat putting pressure on Pitbull.
Hands high, standing tall is Pat Curran. Forgetting the height differential, Jimmy, for a moment, Curran is just a taller standing fighter.
Yeah, very true. Pitbull brings himself lower, chin down. Crowd is booing, but these fighters really respect one another. Not going to do anything stupid to please the crowd. Both guys have shown they can end the fight in one shot. I think Pitbull is the harder puncher. It's like Pitbull fires a grenade launcher. Pat Curran fires a sniper rifle. They have different styles. They can end a fight at any time.
Gonna miss on the overhand right by Pitbull.
You good? All right, continue.
McDonald recognized the low blow. Time not called. We fight on. Pitbull looking for the first takedown of the fight. Curran down to his knees, immediately right back up. 90 seconds remaining round one.
Curran very good with the switch, very good with that wrestling escape. Looking for wrist control here, but Pitbull able to put pressure on, but way too high.
Over the top as he was looking for the rear naked choke. Too high, too aggressive, Jimmy.
Very true.
So much composure from Curran.
Pat Curran always ice cold, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, doesn't panic easily.
Trickle of blood under Curran's right eye.
Neither guy's landed anything big. Pitbull really committing to that right hand.
He's swinging big, is Patricio Pitbull.
He's being more judicious than he was in the first fight. He's not winging a lot of punches. They're still power shots. He's trying to pick his timing. He's a lot more reckless in that first fight. Oh, nice right hand. It was a straight right up the middle, right through the guard of Pat Curran. He always keeps his hands high. And that was the best punch of the fight.
Curran slowly trying to walk forward. Very conservative in coming forward. Final seconds now, round number one. Swing and a miss with a lead left hook from Patricio Pitbull.
Stop!
Heading into round number two, scheduled for 5. Jimmy, how did you score round one?
Man, incredibly close first round, very hard to score. I gave it 10-9 Pitbull by the barest of margins. Got the takedown. Both landed punches. I thought Pitbull landed with a little bit more authority. But man, that could easily go either way.
A slip on the jump knee. Curran immediately back up and then shoves off Pitbull to get distance. 2 slips we've seen in this fight from Pat Curran.
And Pitbull's tried to use them as striking advantages. Hasn't necessarily tried to take him down off of those slips. Nice right hand by Curran.
Knee to the body, Curran backs off. Hint of a low blow, that's why they touched hands. A lot of animosity, but we're seeing real respect and sportsmanship right now.
Yeah, a ton. These guys are professionals.
It felt, Jimmy, like it was Pitbull with the animosity. Curran seemed as relaxed as I have ever encountered him since he started fighting for Bellator in the spring of 2010.
I notice a lot of the reaction of Pat Curran off the punches is he's off balance. I think he might be overcommitting a little bit more than he used to. See that jab, it didn't land super flush, but really rocked Curran off his feet. I think Pitbull's caught him off balance a couple times.
Right hand earlier in the sequence, a chopping outside kick from Pitbull.
I think that
comes forward.
I think that's a great weapon of Pitbull's. It was working early in the fight. He kind of got away from it, started slinging punches again. Now he's going back to the leg kick. But the leg kick is one of those things you need to work consistently and kind of chop a guy down. You won't get a one-shot knockout like you can with your fists. If you're not going to do it often, it's better not to do it at all.
One thing I think, Jimmy, noticeably absent from Curran's arsenal thus far in this fight is the teep kick, the push kick. He throws it a lot. He hasn't really thrown it in this fight. Maybe that's respecting the takedown of Pitbull.
Look at that leg kick. A ton of power behind that.
Much on that inside kick from Curran.
Curran doesn't often use the leg kick as a consistent weapon. Obviously knocked out Marlon Saunders with the head kick. He can throw them, but he doesn't use them to wear an opponent down.
And when he uses the push kick, it's almost like a long-range jab.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. Pitbull throws that leg kick with authority. Trying to take out that lead leg kick. Great strategy against a boxer like Pat Curran. One thing to keep in mind. Oh, nice combination.
Explosion of punches. Pitbull coming forward.
One thing. Oh, good left hook.
Curran right back to his feet again. Pitbull pounces. Landing right hands, the uppercut. Counter right from Curran. Now Curran looking for the level change.
That is not a good sign. Pat Curran going for the takedown. Think he's trying to clear his head, Sean.
Short, sharp elbow, pushing down Pitbull is Curran, then the big knee!
If you question these guys' chins, there's your answer. Great punches by Pitbull, nice knee by Pat.
Short, sharp elbow standing from Curran. Pitbull walks right through it.
One of the biggest questions in my mind in this fight is, can Pitbull stay aggressive, throw big shots, and have the gas to keep going through a 5-round fight? One of the problems he's had in the past is when he gets overly aggressive, he spends a lot of energy. You see his hands coming lower and lower, now down by his nipples. They were up by his chin at the beginning of the first round.
Jump knee that was well defended, though, by Pitbull. 50 seconds remaining, round 2 of this world title fight.
I think between the last fight and this fight, Pitbull has really worked on his defense. Look at that slip. Beautiful job slipping off the jab.
Pitbull back to the low kick.
That's the price to pay for that low kick. Does leave you vulnerable to that straight right. I think that's why he's hesitant to use it a lot of the time.
Pitbull talked about implementing his ground game, implementing his jiu-jitsu. We haven't seen it thus far.
Another very close round.
Jump knee, that lands. Another knee just before the bell, a legal shot. Trickle of blood under Pitbull's right eye, and he raises his hands for emphasis as he walks back to his corner.
One more deep one.
Through 2 rounds, Jimmy, what do you think?
Coin flip rounds. I gave the second one to Pat Curran, 10-9. But really, both rounds could have gone either way. No one can feel comfortable about a lead in this fight.
You heard the urgency from Curran's corner.
The only thing that has consistently given edge to Pat Curran, he's been the one taking the center of the cage. He's been the one pushing forward. He gets the cage control and the aggression points. He's got to be careful with that.
Feint on the jump knee from Pitbull. And again, you see coming forward. Pitbull will back off as he's done throughout this fight, then try to explode forward with strikes. Just like that on cue. To the low kick for Pitbull. Curran trying to answer. Right hand to counter that Pitbull low kick from Curran.
Now the low kick landed. Look at the bruising around that left knee. It is purple.
Enhance your enjoyment of Bellator MMA in this world title fight with the Bellator app. Download it now, it's free of charge. Real-time stats, fighter bios, archived video, and score every round live as you are the 4th judge.
Double leg again! Double leg again!
Center of the Bellator cage. Curran trying to establish his left jab. 2 spectacular featherweights. Patricio Pitbull, 21-2. The champion Pat Curran, 20.
Oh my God!
He is dropped. Right back to his feet, but again, Pitbull pounces. Nicely done on the throw. And again, Curran to his feet.
Pitbull smells blood. Can he keep up the aggression?
Knee to the body from the Brazilian. Swinging elbow strike just missed from Curran.
Curran's eyes look clear. Still don't know if he's hurt, though. And we talk about the jab of Pat Curran, but Pitbull has that Larry Holmes jab. It's got a lot of power behind it. Easton Assassin sitting right behind me. It's a powerful jab. It hurts you. It's not a feeling out jab.
There was the jab right there from Pitbull. Snap jab from Curran, but it missed the mark.
Right now, Pitbull full of confidence. But Pat Curran's so hard to finish. He recovers so well. He moves so well. Pitbull gets him hurt and just can't seal the deal. He's not used to that. Pitbull isn't used to hurting a guy and not being able to get him out of there.
When Curran has gone down in this fight, Jimmy, he's immediately popped back up.
Pat Curran looks good, but you just don't know how he feels. Only he knows.
And 25 remaining round 3 of this world title fight. At stake, Bellator's Featherweight World Championship. Curran missed to the body. Curran with the reach advantage, Jimmy, has just not been effectively able to land that left jab.
He's thrown it out there. It's been a good range setter. It hasn't been the dominant force it was in the first fight. When I think of that first fight, I think of the jab of Pat Curran.
Curran looking for a takedown of his own. Well defended by Pitbull.
You know, you talked about, Pitbull definitely talked about wanting to do more things, work his jiu-jitsu, his wrestling, but it's so hard to take both of these guys down. It takes so much energy. It's a big commitment. And I don't think either guy really wants to make it.
Curran is not the fighter who's going to lay in close guard.
No, he will not. Pitbull, on the ground, you make a mistake, he's going to catch you. You see that outside trip, like, these takedowns that don't require that full hip commitment, that full explosion.
Short right hand on the inside from Curran. Just misses with that lead left hook. There's the bell. Here come the championship rounds.
Pitbull's got power.
2 of the best featherweights in the world. Patricio Pitbull versus the champion Pat Curran. Kevin McDonald starts round number 4. Jimmy, how do you see it?
I gave the last round to Pitbull as the first decisive round. I'm sorry, the first round you could really give to one guy or the other, and I gave it to Pitbull. Knocked him down, did a lot of damage, 10-9 Pitbull.
This is the 24th pro MMA fight for Patricio Pitbull, just the second time he has gone past 3 rounds. The only previous occurrence in that 5-round split decision loss for the title versus Curran January of last year. Punches landed through 3 rounds, courtesy of CompuStrike, Jimmy.
Almost dead even, 40 to 45. Pat Curran's landed 5 more, but Patricio Pitbull throws a lot more power shots.
Curran, incidentally, 26th pro MMA fight. This is his 5th time past 3 rounds, and the 4th time, tellingly, Jimmy, in his last 5 fights. He's used to going to deep water.
And that is a huge advantage. He had more gas in the tank for the 5th round of their first fight. From what I'm looking at on my scorecard, it could come down to that.
Jimmy has the scorecard. 3 judges scoring cage side for the Mohegan Tribe. Remember, with the Bellator app, you get the score along at home. Pitbull, trickle of blood. That appeared in round 2 under his right eye. Now cut on the bridge of his nose. Curran had a slight trickle of blood that appeared in round 1 under his right eye, but it's not been a factor. Truthfully, none of the cuts have been a factor in this fight.
Pitbull. Right now his hands getting a little bit lower. Pat still throwing tight combinations. Hands high, throwing 3 or 4 punches.
And you see the leg kick from Patricio Pitbull. Curran trying to come forward.
His last 2 rounds, 4 and 5, critical rounds. Not just, I would say they're critical rounds for Pat Curran. I think they're critical rounds for both guys. The first 2 rounds could have gone either way. Both coin flip rounds.
Well, not getting that right hand through. So under the unified rules, the code #1 criteria, effective striking, effective grappling. There's not been much grappling, not been much ground fighting.
All
As you score this at home, who do you see with the more effective striking? Is it Pitbull moving backwards then powering forward with strikes? Or is it Curran trying to methodically walk down his Brazilian opponent?
I think there's going to be a lot of debate about this scorecard at the end of this fight, no matter what the result is. If it gets to the end, remember, both these guys can finish a fight instantly. Ask Marlon Sandro. Pat Curran starched him in the 3rd round of their fight. He was behind on the scorecards.
Ask Diego Nunes.
Ask Diego Nunes. Pitbull starched him with left hook. Justin Wilcox. These guys are deadly in the cage.
One thing that's clear is just how much these two fighters respect each other's skill set.
You talk all you want. They really respect one another's skills. May not like one another as people, that doesn't matter. This last minute of this round, whoever turns it on, I think can take this round. It's been very close.
Minute number 20 of this fight, we will go a maximum of 25 minutes. Curran suddenly getting active with the jab.
That's when Curran's really effective. 2, 3 jabs. Oh, beautiful leg kick again.
Just thudding. Spinning Pat Curran with that power, taking him off balance. Curran slightly
right
cut on the
hand.
bridge of his nose now, Jimmy.
Sneaky right hand by Pitbull. See, look at that combination. But all of them blocked, just when that last jab kind of grazed Pitbull. Good right hand again.
Counter left from Pitbull. Curran missed with the right over the top.
Pitbull starting to find his range with his short punches at the end of this round. A left hook over the top caught Pat.
Final seconds of round number 4. Patricio Pitbull versus the champion Pat Curran. We are headed to the 5th and final round. January of last year. Curran said, Jimmy, he felt it was 2-2 going into that final round.
Final round, let's go.
Curran emerged with a split decision and retained his title. What will we see from this round number 5 in the rematch? Curran opens with a body kick. Jimmy, through 4 rounds in 20 minutes.
I gave the last round to Patricio Pitbull, 10-9. Thought he started landing power punches in the last minute of that round. The right hand, that left hook over the top, but once again, a coin flip round.
Pitbull looking for the takedown, and he hits it.
Pat Curran going for the guillotine. I hesitated because I thought he might go for the Kimura there. He's got his hand on the wrist. Pat Curran has a very tricky guard. Excellent sweeps, excellent chokes.
Come on, guys.
Shabalat Shamalayev found out how good his guillotine is. He can finish you from here.
Call for action.
There's the sweep.
McDonald on the sweep.
Beautiful. But cannot hold Pitbull down. He just drives Pitbull to the ground. Still scrambling. And they're back to their feet.
McDonald asked for it, and Curran delivered.
This is how this fight has been. How do you score that? Takedown, sweep, back to the feet, scramble.
Who was more effective in grappling there?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so maddening about this fight, about this rivalry. One thing goes the other way, and the other guy walks home with the belt. Nice right hand over the top. But Pat Curran right now throwing more combinations. 1, 2, 3. Volume versus the single power of Pitbull.
2:45 remaining in this 5th and final round.
It was his ability to outland Pat Curran to outland Pitbull that won Pat Curran the 5th round and the fight the last time these guys met.
In his second attempt, will Patricio Pitbull claim Bellator's featherweight world title? In his first fight after winning the championship back from Daniel Straus, will Curran successfully defend this belt?
This time, though, I think Pitbull's throwing enough power strikes to kind of keep Pat Curran at bay. He's still landing with that right hand sometimes, that stiff left jab.
Curran again after the uppercut, trying to be busier with the left jab. Pitbull just slips out. Lead left hook from Patricio Pitbull. Uppercut again, Jimmy, then the overhand right. Now it's Pitbull walking forward.
Is Pitbull thinking about the last fight where he thought he had it won, and the judges didn't see it that way? Is he going to think he needs a finish in this 5th round? Because he certainly might.
Good shot inside. Pitbull drops Curran.
Another good left hook.
Curran definitely wobbled, but back to his feet.
And it hurt him. Pat Curran needs to come back and hurt Pitbull, because he definitely got rocked.
Another chopping, thudding outside kick from Pitbull, then the right hand. Counter left jab from Curran.
That's been the story of this fight to me. Pat Curran landing good combinations, tight, sharp, and then later on in the round, Pitbull coming back with power punches.
Minute number 50 between these two fighters. Watch 500 minutes between these two, Jimmy.
I would watch these guys fight 10 times, 20 times. It would always be a great fight. Another big right hand.
Closing stages of this world title fight. Pitbull opening up with his left and right hands.
Last time the 5th round was all about the volume of Pat Curran. Right now I see it as being about the power of Patricio Pitbull.
And again, back to his feet. Pitbull just walking through the jab, coming forward. Curran trying to explode back. Big right hand by Pitbull, then the left. The knee, the right hand, stepping forward, and there is the bell. Truly two of the best, not just featherweights, Jimmy, but fighters in all of MMA. Patricio Pitbull, Pat Curran, as they did the first time around, going the distance, all 5 rounds for the title.
Another spectacular fight, another back and forth fight, another fight where the fans here and the fans at home are sitting there wondering who won, who's gonna walk away with the belt. This is the difference here. The first meeting, the last round, 46-26 in favor of Curran. Tonight, Pitbull, 44-32, and a lot of those, Sean, power punches, big shots that hurt Pat Curran.
You see the reaction from Patricio Pitbull. Embraced by his brother Patricky.
There were highlights in every round of this fight. Pitbull moving forward with power punches. Pat Curran throwing tight combinations, but Pitbull, I thought, landed the more meaningful punches throughout these exchanges. Big shots with both hands. But don't let it fool you. Pat Curran, through tight punches, was accurate, moved well. It's will his volume and will his cage control and aggression counter the power of Pitbull in the eyes of the judges.
Jimmy, for you, who takes home this title?
Patricio Pitbull, 49-46. I only gave Pat Curran round number 2. I would say rounds 3 and 5 were decisively Pitbulls. So this could go either way.
Glad that you're scoring at home. Again, use the hashtag Bellator123 on Twitter. A much more confident look on the face of Patricio Pitbull. Certainly a tentative look on the face of the champion. Let's now end all suspense with Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having completed 5 full rounds of action, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Cardo Urso, scores the fight 48-47, while judges David Torelli and Eric Colon both scored the fight exactly the same at 49-46. They all see it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Patricio Pitbull.
You ready? Get up.
Weakness to the striking style of Patricio Pitbull is that it tends to be basic. He relies on power punches, doesn't angle that much, doesn't throw a lot of kicks. Did he add new tools to his toolkit since their last fight?
One of the great heavyweights of all time from St. Louis, Sonny Liston. Everything he threw was heavy. Everything Patricio throws is heavy.
The difference between him and Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston had an amazing jab. The problem is Patricio Pitbull tends to lead with the hook or the right hand. He tends to fight short even for a short fighter. More a Mike Tyson than a Sonny Liston for sure. Oh, this guy's a lot of respect. That's what you get having fought twice.
People don't talk much about the first meeting, but Patricio had his way. He dominated that fight.
And Straus looked tentative in that fight. Didn't want to engage. It was an out-of-character fight for Daniel Straus.
That was in May of 2011. Tournament final back in the tournament days.
Fica esse lado! Fica esse lado! Quando se separar, sai esperto, Patrício. Vamos chutar mais, vamos chutar mais. Não, fica aí,
The improvement Daniel Straus had made between the first 2 fights was apparent immediately.
Dramatic. That's the one thing. Pitbull very hard to take down. He's short, he's stocky, he's strong. Straus, the superior wrestler, just physically hard to get underneath Patricio Pitbull's hips.
Patricio Pitbull had never taken damage the way he did in that second fight.
Nice knee, nice elbow. Good short range game. This is where Patricio Pitbull has the advantage, in close.
Daniel Straus trying to fight his way back to the middle.
This is where he spent most of the second fight. Patricio Pitbull was against the fence.
It was a thrilling fight, but it was also a strange one. There were a lot of low blows, there were a lot of stoppages, there were a lot of stop and start to it in the other round.
It was an ugly fight in that regard. One thing about the opposite stances, southpaw for Daniel Straus, orthodox for Patricio Pitbull, is the power punches are easier to throw. Generally all that Patricio Pitbull throws anyway.
Straus leading to set that up.
Oh,
look at that jump knee. Keeping Patricio at bay, but he breaks into a big smile. There's a lot of respect here, too.
I think he had Patricio Pitbull hurt there, but he didn't want to push it. I think he remembered what happened to Daniel Weichel.
Everybody remembers what happened to Daniel Weichel. Patricio Pitbull was done in that fight. He was done. There was confusion, you may remember, at the end of the round as to whether the fight was over or just the round. Weichel picked up where he left off at the start of round 2, and then lightning struck.
I talked to Daniel Weichel in the hotel after that fight. And what he told me is, Jimmy, I've never been hit like that in my entire life. Sparring, competing, never have I been dropped like that.
On to round 2. One of the most memorable visuals from that Pitbull-Weichel fight was the reaction of Tito Ortiz to the knockout by Patricio. Tito was not going to miss this one. The third of the trilogy. Close first round and tough to call. How did you see it?
I give the edge to Daniel Straus. Takedown, flying knee, just landed a little bit more. Hurt Pitbull a little bit more than Pitbull hurt him. That's about it.
Fair or unfair, Daniel Straus, now when you think of him, you think of the fights he had won and then lost late, because it happened with Pat Curran as well, in addition to the second Patricio fight.
The hardest label to shed, I think, in all of sports is choker, because you don't often get to a level where you get to prove you're not a choker. I mean, how many Super Bowls do you go to in an entire career? How many championship fights do you get? Not many.
Buffalo Bills, 4 straight Super Bowls.
All anyone remembers is if they didn't win them.
The difference is that Daniel Straus has been the world champion. He's been there.
Yep.
It was in that second Pat Curran fight that he lost that title.
What Conan Silveira told him in the corner was throw elbows against the fence. Throw elbows and get out. Rely on your short game. Don't throw punches with this guy whose arms are much shorter. Sound advice.
Daniel Straus and Will Brooks have become so close, they've become teammates.
This is where Pitbull needs to throw. Needs to make Straus pay for making mistakes with the real estate, getting too close to the fence. Out here in space, I give the advantage to Daniel Straus for sure.
Oh my God! Left hand! Daniel Straus going for the finish. Pounding up Patricio Pitbull.
This might be it.
Can he survive?
Over!
Patricio Pitbull's never been finished, and look how he's trying to escape. Daniel Straus drops him on his head. The ground and pound continues. John McCarthy taking a very close look. An extraordinary sequence.
I can't believe it. From a knockout to a submission, now back to the ground and pound. Pitbull trying so hard to stay in this fight, but he is rocked.
So much time left in this round. When Weichel got him, there were 10 seconds left in the round.
Pitbull's eyes are blank. He is not back in this fight.
And now the moment has arrived for Daniel Straus. What he has not been able to do in the big moment, can he finish?
He's going hard for the Kimura. Trying to lock up the left shoulder of Daniel Straus. But is Pitbull going for the submission, or is he just trying to clear his head right now? Is he just hanging on? He lets it go. Going hard for the guillotine. He doesn't lock it up. Straus has a lot of faith in his guillotine. That's how he finished Henry Corrales. He doesn't want to give up on the ground and pound here. Doesn't want to make this a submission battle.
How do you not, if you're Daniel Straus, how do you not flash back to what happened last time?
That's inside of him. Victory is in his grasp right now. If you're thinking about anything other than what's happening right now, your head's in the wrong place.
That huge sequence happened with more than half the round remaining.
Remember, he can finish the guillotine. He has an excellent one. Pitbull's back to his feet. Oh my God, great elbows. Can you believe the guts of Patricio Pitbull? Can you believe the chin that he's still in this fight?
It didn't seem possible these two could top the show they put on in January. And yet, they are standing dead center, both having taken damage, and Patricio doing it again. Where does he find it?
But Patricio is fighting in a haze right now. He is not focused. He has not recovered from that shot.
For the second straight time in St. Louis, Patricio Pitbull has been rocked. He is in trouble, but again, he makes it and survives to the end of the round.
Respira. Oh, olha pra mí.
What Patricio's being told is keep your guard high. You're aware the first question was, you know you got knocked down, right? You got to find out where his head is first.
Yeah, look at the replays here. You cannot get anything back in between rounds. If you're concussed, if you're rocked, there's not a whole lot your corner can do to get you back in the fight physically. It just takes time. The question is, will he have that kind of time? Daniel Straus, expect him to start this third round like a fireball.
You think of teams that have lost big leads over and over again, and that nervous feeling you have when you're up 3-0 in the 6th inning, when you're up a couple of touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. Daniel Straus has been here before. And so is Patricio Pitbull.
I don't think Patricio Pitbull, I don't think Daniel Weichel hurt him as badly as he was hurt right now by Daniel Straus. I think this might be the worst he's ever been hurt in his career. Certainly the worst he's ever been hurt in Bellator.
Straus another left one. Second time Pitbull's been able to catch that leg kick. He's not all there, is he?
He's not. He's not sharp. It's like he's trying to figure out what's happening as he's fighting.
Oh, another big left.
How is he still standing?
This is what he did against Straus last time. It's what he did against Weichel. He gave himself a chance for another miracle comeback. Does he have a third one in him?
What people don't understand, he's got to be at least mildly concussed from these shots. It's like you're catching up. You're always trying to figure out what's happening. Short-term memory, a lot of times, is gone. You're just trying to figure out what's happening as you are fighting. You're fighting confused. That's what it looks like is happening with Patricio Pitbull. He's fighting in a haze right now, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous.
Is it tempting to change your strategy when you've got the other guy hurt?
It can be tempting, but don't expect Daniel Straus to do that. Now this is where his weakness kind of becomes his strength. In the past, he's had guys hurt and he hasn't turned it on to finish them. But it makes him careful. He doesn't take risks. He doesn't do anything stupid. Only time he's had a stupid fight was last time against Pitbull and obviously against Pat Curran last time. Usually he fights mistake-free. That's a good thing right now.
The other thing to keep in the back of your head, that very easily could have been a 10-8 round too.
That's how I scored it.
Which would mean Patricio Pitbull would have to win all 3 of these rounds just to get it even.
Yep. I'm sure he'd take it right now. He'd take a draw.
And even if he can miraculously clear the cobwebs, that's not going to be enough. Clearing the cobwebs isn't enough.
No. Look at that left over the top, over and over again. Pitbull just can't see them coming.
Daniel Straus is ramping it up now. He is being respectful of the knockout power of Pitbull.
But see what he doesn't do. He doesn't make the mistake Weishel made. He doesn't stand in front of him and unload looking for the finish. He backs out and restarts.
Pitbull's best shot since he got rocked.
And another angle to this, if you're Pitbull, is can he just keep in this fight until round 4 or 5 and hope that the demons that have plagued Straus in championship fights come back to haunt him late. That's another thing as well. This looks like a replay of their second fight, but worse. Or better if you're a Straus fan.
The finish, the second fight, if you didn't see it, came on the ground. It was one mistake. Daniel Straus gave up his back, and a rear naked choke later, it was over.
Watch your heads, watch your heads. Watch your heads when you come up. It was not perfect side. Fight. Watch it, stop. Time.
Poked him in the eye.
This is deja vu all over again.
How you feeling? Okay. How's the eye? You see me? Okay.
Right hand.
Yep.
Extending the fingers right into the eye. That's clear.
Don't pop that out. Look at me. Good? Yes. Stay right there.
There were so many stoppages.
It's on purpose.
In the second fight,
good to go.
that there was a point deduction.
Yep. And it was hard for either guy to get a rhythm, really. One thing these guys don't have is animosity and a lot of respect for one another. Familiarity often breeds contempt. These guys still have a lot of respect for one another.
And Daniel Straus has been smart here.
Man, another big left.
How many heavy shots can Pitbull take and keep coming forward? To the championship rounds we go.
And it's the power of his straight left hand. So far, Pitbull has had no answer for it. Also has not made defensive adjustments. Every time he throws, every time they have exchanges, he leaves his right hand down, and that left hand is catching him over the top. It's been the case since the first round.
Sometimes you find out you have a chin. That's the good news. The bad news is you find out you have a chin.
You ready? You ready? Get up.
We head into the deep water, the championship rounds, where Daniel Straus's championship dreams have turned to nightmares. How do you see it through 3? Let me take a wild guess.
3 rounds to none for Daniel Straus. The second round, 10-8. Almost finished the fight, pure dominance. The question is, what does Pitbull do tactically to change things around?
In June, in this cage here in St. Louis, Patricio Pitbull needed the one-punch knockout to save the fight. Now he needs it to win the fight. He needed to clear his head and survive. Now he needs it to hold on to the title.
Just have to ask yourself, has the luck run out for Patricio Pitbull? Now, he's not a great fighter. The 3rd time in a row, he's needed a desperation comeback to win a fight.
He has been dancing through raindrops the last 2. And tonight he is getting soaked.
Comes to that power left hand. Straus cannot miss. Ooh. They clashed hits coming in, but Big John didn't say stop.
Didn't.
So Straus almost leveled him, which would have been totally legal.
You're not doing anything. Your head clashed when you both coming in, okay? Just be careful of your head, okay? You ready? Fight.
Now, detractors, people who don't like Pitbull, say that. He's a complainer, calls a lot of fouls that may or may not happen. That's what the people don't like him. That's what they say.
Some people are comfortable leading a race, having that big lead. Some aren't. Daniel Straus has looked more and more comfortable. The evolution of Daniel Straus has been on display. First fight to second fight to third fight with Pitbull.
He's just getting kicked apart from the outside. He's answered back with some power shots, but mostly it's been at Daniel Straus's range. Nice right hand.
Another big
answers back.
What do you have to do to Pitbull? He keeps coming forward.
But also Straus is not the kind of guy who's going to get frustrated winning by decision. He's not going to go, well, I said I was going to finish him and I didn't. No, decision is just fine. He wants the belt.
It will still fit.
Uh-oh, shaking out that left hand. It's not a good sign. He's been throwing it so much. Pitbull has a forehead like a stone. It wouldn't surprise me if he hurt his hand.
Led with an elbow there instead of coming across with it.
Straus might have hurt his hand.
And now for the first time since getting rocked in round two, Patricio trying to move in, and now Daniel Straus trying to go to the ground. This is what happened.
Jab with the right hand and then a takedown. I think that left hand is hurt. Near side cradle. Trying to turn into a takedown. He's not going to get it. Nice spinning back fist.
Almost got him with the elbow on that.
See how the hand is open? He's not making a fist with this left hand.
Whatever Patricio Pitbull has, he's going to unleash here. He cannot win this fight on the cards. It's not possible.
That left hand hook was a slapping shot for Straus. He doesn't have faith in his left hand anymore.
Pitbull's best sequence of the fight.
Nice right hand.
He's pulling that left hand back when he throws it.
Still having a head in this round, though.
Daniel Straus has a huge lead in this fight, but that is an ultra-dangerous man in front of him. Patricio went for that tie clinch, thinking about a knee. It's so tough when you're giving away all that height.
Yeah.
It has been Daniel Straus's night. It has been Daniel Straus's fight, but Pitbull somehow is still in it as we go to round 5.
Breathe. Listen, we got 5 minutes for you to be a champion. We got to fight smart, okay? Breathe again. Very good.
Watch the left hand of Daniel Straus.
That's the mind who's going to be a champion right there. We need to get 5 minutes. 5 minutes on him, not let him breathe.
Yeah, shakes it out after the left hook.
Do you hear what I said? Do you hear what I say? You are the champion. Let's make sure. Let's do it right now.
He hit the shoulder and then he hits him in the with the left. Pitbull blocks it with the right and then he shakes it out. Either one of those punches could have hurt it.
Put it on.
After it all the way back.
I didn't think it was possible they could put on a better show than they did in January, but they have. I also don't know how Patricio Pitbull is still standing.
Does he have another miracle comeback left in him? We're also going to see the last 5 minutes of his title reign.
And Straus uses that left early.
On my scorecard, if Straus finishes this fight on his feet, he wins. Nothing Pitbull can do in this round, but finish him can win him back this fight on my scorecard.
Pitbull had a nice finish to the 4th round, but it was still Daniel Straus's round.
And that's the way I had it. I mean, you could have given it to Pitbull. I didn't, just because finished strong. A lot of judges give more emphasis to the end of the round, but I thought it was a Straus round.
We've seen crazy things from judges in the sport, and there's the human element, but nothing would be crazier than this.
This would be a ridiculous robbery. I mean, an investigation if Pitbull won a decision so far.
This is now about the heart of Patricio Pitbull and the next step in the evolution of Daniel Straus. He is walking that ledge that twice before he has fallen off. If he keeps his balance for the next 3.5 minutes, he's a world champion.
This is a guy in Daniel Straus who prides himself on his conditioning, his grinding ability, his ability to just wear guys down. He can wrestle this last round. Walk away a champion. Pitbull needs to throw some power punches and get the knockouts. He hasn't gotten very close with his takedown.
Remember, Patricio Pitbull has 2 losses. They were both by narrow, split decision margins, 1-point margins. He has never been dominated this way. He is going for the back. Is Daniel Straus going to give him the back again?
2 minutes left.
Flattened.
I do not believe what I am seeing.
Is it possible it could happen again? Is it possible that Patricio Pitbull has another miracle comeback in him?
Has 1 hook in now. He got the left hook out. 2 minutes left. This would not be, in my mind, a comeback. This would be an epic collapse for Daniel Straus if he lost this fight.
Can he last the 2 minutes and exorcise the demons of the ones that got away? Those numbers at the bottom left separate Daniel Straus from the world title.
He's almost out. Pitbull now in a wrestling ride, doesn't have his hooks in. And this time, can Daniel Straus escape? 1 hook in, trying to crank on the neck. And he is out.
Daniel Straus has always had the skills of a champion. Tonight, the heart of one as well. Final minute. Spinning back fist, Pitbull looking for the desperation knockout.
And there is no quit in Patricio Pitbull. He is still fighting this crowd now, rising to its feet.
And Daniel Straus, to his credit, is staying right in front of Pitbull. An epic closing moment to this trilogy.
Those few who are seated are on the edge of their seat, as they should be.
The desperate world champion with the title slipping from his grasp.
Could this be MMA's Gotti Ward? They are throwing to the bell. Nice left hook, but it's over.
A spectacular finish. Patricio Pitbull takes the harm, but for Daniel Straus, the 3rd time is the charm.
My question is, what highlight will you use? Daniel Straus landed the left hand throughout this fight. Patricio Pitbull, I don't know what kept him standing. His heart, his guts, his championship will kept him in the fight, because this was a wipeout for Daniel Straus until that last round. And this is how it ended, folks. Toe-to-toe, throwing punches, neither guy backing down, neither guy circling out, neither guy playing defense. It couldn't end any other way.
An epic moment in Bellator, an epic moment in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll now go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge at cage side, Justin Brown, scores the fight 49-46. While judges Rob Francis and Ross Swamberg both see the fight the same, 48-47. They all see it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Daniel Straus.
First time Dan Bergliotta has officiated either of these fighters.
Been through the rules of the locker room. Want you to obey my commands at all time. Want you to protect yourselves at all time. Have a nice clean fight. Want to touch gloves? Do it now. Good luck to both of you. Thank you, sir.
They have spent an hour in the cage with each other. 12 rounds. They probably split the 12-6-6. The fourth fight, and likely the final one between these two.
You ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
The fight clock in the main event for the Featherweight World title, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time. Big shot by Pitbull opens the fourth meeting.
What I want to see is if Daniel Straus throws the left hand with confidence.
He said it was about a month ago. He finally cracked someone in training with it, and he said it felt great. Remember, he knocked Pitbull down. The biggest shot of the fight was after he had broken that hand.
Yep. And it was early on in the fight. Pitbull spent the rest of the fight trying to get back in it. I think he was pretty badly concussed. Hard for him to make a game plan. He was on instinct and survived the rest of the fight.
Went for that armbar immediately. Yep. He did more than survive. He had the big fourth round and the dramatic closing sequence.
I've grappled with Pitbull. It's like grappling a fire hydrant. Unbelievably strong, great technique on the ground, crazy pressure.
You've been to the guillotine.
Yeah, it's pop your head off. Saw Henry Corrales tap to it.
Right here in this building, last April.
This thing about Straus, he has range, he has versatility. We're seeing a much more patient Pitbull. He's waiting for the one big shot, a little bit like how he fought Ben Henderson.
His camp was different, he said, than anyone he's had. It was a recovery camp. He said, listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not 19 years old anymore. I know it. I can't go 3 or 4 times a day. And he was coming off that freak injury that cost him the Ben Henderson fight.
And this is how he fought Ben Henderson. Waiting for him to come inside and throwing big punches, and Ben never got his offense going.
He gained a lot of confidence from that fight. That was a win for Ben Henderson, but Patricio felt that was a fluke.
Yes. He's getting out of the way well. Being very elusive. And one thing about Daniel Straus in most of his fights is his pacing. He's so busy, fighters can't keep up with him. They wear down. And he's not being very busy right now against Pitbull. Tasted that power. Might be making him a little gun shy. But we haven't seen him throw the left hand with confidence yet. We haven't.
He just pulled back on the left.
Yep.
Good. Solid kick from Patricio, and you got to watch, is he going to be gun shy about throwing that kick? I mean, that was a brutal injury.
And it's a very underused weapon for Pitbull. He has really strong leg kicks, but doesn't throw them that often. He hurt Pat Curran with it in their first fight, and never went back to it. It's a weapon you have to use often to be effective. First nice left hand by Straus.
One got through. This is what their first fight looked like. Right here along the fence. And they were 3 close rounds, but they were at a different experience level at that point. Daniel Straus, not in terms of volume of fights, but he wasn't at the same level experience-wise. That's 6 years ago. In MMA, that's a lifetime.
He didn't fight like Daniel Straus at all. waited the whole time. Pitbull was aggressive. One thing about Pitbull is he's very, very consistent. He fights the same way every time. Daniel Straus has had these flashes of greatness, these amazing rounds, amazing fights even, but had trouble with his consistency. I've talked about the mental breakdowns late in fights. That's been his kryptonite, but physically, if you look at the size difference when they're locked up together, Straus is a giant. He cuts an amazing amount of weight. Saw him cut his hair against Pat Curran. I mean, he looked like death in that fight because of his weight cut, but he's the much bigger guy.
Now, if 2011 was a lifetime ago, 2012 was the last time, Jimmy, the featherweight title picture looked at least a little different.
Yep, that's right. Joe Warren versus Pat Curran. Pat Curran got that vicious knockout. Every title fight since then at 145 has involved one of these two fighters.
And the next one will involve Daniel Weichel, who is now the #1 contender after beating John Makapa last week in Budapest. Daniel Weichel, who came so close to that featherweight world title, Dan Mogliano with the quick trigger. It was on the undercard that Daniel Straus had a big come from behind win that following a loss, dominant win that got him the title shot in November that resulted in the title victory.
Nice body kick. Everything he throws with power. There are no feeling out punches. Straus, I think, yet to find his offensive rhythm in this fight.
The last time we saw Daniel Straus after the first round, he put his hand on the cage just that way, the left hand. His coaches immediately grabbed. They knew it was broken. He knew it was in trouble. And his coaches were saying, you want to fight or you want to talk about your broken hand? And he snapped right back into the fight and obviously became the world champion. Jimmy's Scorecard brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get your fresh blade shave at dollarshaveclub.com today.
10-9 Pitbull thought he was more accurate with the right hand than Daniel Straus was with the left. But Daniel Straus moving forward a lot. But I thought Pitbull more effective. He has a great guillotine. You see Daniel Straus, his hand on the hips, trying to keep Pitbull from pulling guard and really cranking on that guillotine. And there he goes.
Goes for it. This is how he beat Henry Corrales. It's over. He got it. Daniel Straus taps immediately. And Patricio Pitbull has climbed the mountain again.
No doubt, no rounds, not long, not grueling, definitive. He got the guillotine finish. He is the champ once again. Rivalry's over and Patricio Pitbull was the man.
His nightmare of losing the world title, the nightmare he woke up to every day without the belt, is over. And his dream is to hand the belt to his son, David. The Black Card Premium Spice Rum Replay, the bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
And it was the guillotine right here, arm in, and Straus was trying to keep him from pulling guard. You see his hand on the hips. As soon as his hand went off the hips, Pitbull pulls guard, and this is all she wrote. Beautiful guillotine finish. There it is. Just like Henry Corrales, a similar position, close to the fence. He has so much power in his arms, in his upper body. When he gets around the neck and puts those hips in, it is good night. I don't care who you are.
Leandro Higo, Team Pitbull. Dad's coming home as the world champion again. That's more than 1,000 words.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a guillotine choke. Official time, 37 seconds into round number 2 by submission. He is the new and now two-time Bellator Featherweight World Champion do Brasil, Patricio Pitbull.
All right, gentlemen, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at 11 rounds. The World Grand Prix final, $1 million bonus check. And the Bellator Featherweight Championship, the Grand Prix title, all on the line. The #1 contender against the champion.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hey, let's go.
The bell in round 1. Patricio Pitbull in the red gloves, AJ McKee in the blue, and McKee immediately attacking the lead leg of the champion with an oblique kick. Music to the ears of all of us, John. After a year of being in the fight sphere of Mohegan Sun, a raucous crowd on hand, and most of them are here to cheer on AJ McKee.
Right here, take a look at what's happening here. AJ taking the center of the cage, which is normally where Patricio likes to be. He's taking the center of the cage and saying, I'm going to stand here, go ahead and try to come towards me, and I'm just going to start to pick at you. We'll see how Patricio starts to open up. This is going to take a while for these guys to feel each other out. This is not going to end real fast, in my opinion. Well, it's going to be that they both are careful in the beginning.
Well, McKee said that's not going to be the case. He says he's going to finish him in the first round with a body kick, but you're right, John. It would behoove McKee to be patient and utilize his advantages with the height and the reach.
Absolutely, there's no doubt he has an advantage when it comes to physical size. Strength, Patricio is a bull.
Yes.
To be that bull, you got to come into the matador.
And of course, Pitbull known for his crisp counterattacks, but who is going to lead this dance?
Notice who is moving who back. Now he's seriously hurt. He should not stop. He made a mistake there.
Patricio Pitbull. He said he'd do it with a kick, and McKee looking to finish the champion in round 1.
Made a mistake in not going after him. He's out. He's out.
Mamma mia! AJ McKee has made history.
That head kick set it up, boy.
The fairy tale Hollywood ending has come true. AJ McKee, from birth, was being programmed to become a world champion by his father Antonio. He had the vision.
Well, he wrote himself $1 million check. He just made Bellator write him $1 million check.
Wow!
Take a look at this. AJ sets him up, gets him going backwards. Watch the kick come up. Watch the right hand. Comes out, that kick comes up, hits him square across the jaw. That stuns him. You can see he's after him. Then he actually puts him down with shots, but he made the mistake of stopping, putting his hands up. Goes after him with the guillotine choke. It is tight. Watch again, the head kick come up. Look at the trauma of that head kick. Patricio's able to withstand that, but then it's the shots coming after. That uppercut with the left hand puts him on his butt. Again, right there's the mistake that you cannot make. If you're AJ McKee, you got to continue on until that referee stops you. He then grabs the neck and he goes after what Patricio normally gets his guys with. There he goes, right to the point of unconscious. You can see how he doesn't know where he's at. And they stop the fight.
And Father Antonio celebrating the huge victory by his son. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the guillotine in tight, it comes to an end officially 1 minute 57 seconds into round number 1 by technical submission. He is now the $1 million Featherweight World Grand Prix champion and the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, the Mercenary, AJ McKee.
Tremendous show of respect by both Patricio Pitbull and A.J. McKee. McKee is a prophet. He predicted a first-round finish.
Your fighter's gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Red. There were no final questions from you, Blue. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
It's business time.
Is that what you got?
A.J. McKee's 18-fight winning streak, the longest in Bellator MMA history. It's all about the belt. Patricio Pitbull wants to go down as the very best. That's a legacy he wants for the body. And immediately, McKee explodes with a kick to the body. Before the first fight, that a body kick would lead to the finish. There was a right hand on the counter from Patricio Pitbull. A good kick by McKee.
What you need to see from Pitbull, he needs to start throwing that right hand jab. Make AJ feel his power. Make him actually start to hesitate in some of the actions that he'll take and try to use those side kicks.
McKee applying the pressure early in the guard.
You can see what we were talking about right here. Taking it over in the center of the cage. This is where Patricio does his work, standing in the middle and making people cover it. AJ's the guy that's all control of the distance, all control of his fights out. We're going to see who actually wins that.
Patricio trying to get McKee to bump both of them known as highly effective counter strikers. There's a body kick by McKee, whips it into Pitbull's body.
One of the things that AJ has is even balance when you're looking at a southpaw against that orthodox stance.
There you go, right there, right there. You see?
That is the liver, that is an open side. That is hard for Pitbull to take.
Hey, big more, big more.
Make sure you come to him.
McKee and Pitbull make it to round number 2 this time.
Fight. Okay, take your time, move to the right, keep working your stick, give me some up and down feints, and don't be afraid to clinch, because when you're coming out, you're looking sloppy and your hands are down. All right, other than that, how you feel? Good? Okay.
AJ McKee's down.
Everything's going your plan. You got that round. That was a good round for you.
Patrícia, respira fundo. Respira, se concentra, ó. Tá perfeito, perfeito. Com calma. Fazendo ele errar, tá perfeito. Tá escutando? Eu só quero que você continue atento e sempre com as costas.
McKee says the fact that Patricio Pitbull gave up the lightweight title and then his brother went on to win it, McKee feels that if he wins tonight, he should be champ. That's not how it works.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Things you want to keep an eye on coming into the second round, John, after the first 5 minutes.
I think the thing you really want to look for is Pitbull starting to use his hands with that right hand counter. He's got to start being able to touch AJ. He's made a couple of rushes, but he wasn't able to touch him. The kicks have worked. Now he's going to start to touch him.
McKee's performance in the first round.
The big thing with McKee that I'm looking at is at times he's dropping his hands, and he needs to always be aware that Pitbull's dangerous. Don't get lazy. Don't get, in a position where you feel it's going to be comfortable. Always be prepared.
He looking for the takedown, stuffed by Patricio Pitbull, but then there was a knee on the exit. McKee with the wrestling background, like his father started wrestling at the age of 4. As a slick grab game. But unable to take the fight to the ground. On his first takedown attempt.
Pitbull has stopped AJ from being able to come forward. Pitbull has decided, look, I'll plant my feet and I'll stand here and let you come into my range, which AJ doesn't want to do. And so it's made it to where they are basically both in that center, small cage area, just looking for the opening.
I think the quote used to in the future, who wants to lead the dance? It might be apropos of Vince. You see inside leg kick by Pitbull, but the counter left from the champion. Yeah, Pitbull's done a good job of catching McKee's kicks and tossed him out.
Yeah, you're catching it, but you're eating it first.
Well, he's got a couple of them to the body. Mitigated the damage.
The shot lands. The catch is on the return.
To bite through the left kick, knocking Pitbull down. There's a spinning kick, roll through by McKee, now on his back.
Jiu-Jitsu, he wants to fight this man down. His whole thing, his goes coming out. He wants to be on his feet, throwing bombs.
Back to his feet. McKee just ended his physical prime, having turned 27 on April 7th. Patricio
Tudo tá perfeito, tudo tá perfeito. Essa luta pode estar 1 a 1. Esse round você ganhou tranquilo.
Turn them all the way over and then follow up with something. When you throw you,
Some of the leg kicks, that's a clean inside kick by Pitbull. That lands right on the meaty part of the thigh there. Beautiful shot to the body there. I thought the kicks by Pitbull were a big difference in this round. He was throwing them cleanly. The right lands just not solid. Beautiful use of a body attack, goes to the body multiple times. And when AJ's shaking his head, that's all well and good. And that's telling the judges usually, well, that touched
Good.
it.
Stay back from it, please. Hey, watch your head coming in, yeah? Thank you, sir. Good. One second. Ready? Fight!
Round number 3.
It's a smart move by AJ McKee. The question is, can he keep Pitbull on his back? Most guys that have tried to keep Pitbull here have not been able to be successful in doing it. He ends up working himself up to his feet. We'll see if AJ can do some work here.
First man to submit Patricio Pitbull in their first fight in the final of the featherweight. McKee trying to administer ground and pass that with Pitbull on his back against the fence.
Take your time. You got plenty of time to work.
Beautiful short elbow strike by AJ McKee. He's got that angle with the hand, right hand. That's what kept Pitbull on the ground. Little things make big differences. AJ using it. He's reaching towards that lacing of it. Please be careful where he puts his neck. We see a lot of people getting in trouble with Pitbull's guillotine.
15 seconds left to scramble, and now it's McKee attacking the movement. Nick, as we go to the double.
So, he's not going to come forward as much as about grabbing the cage.
Shot lands just about behind the ear of AJ. You see him react to it, starts taking steps back, but that's what got him in the takedown position. He lands some good shots here, and that's the real big difference. He got a good takedown, landed some good elbow strikes, some punches there. Then Pitbull jumped towards the guillotine. And the real question, Moro, is how much credit are you going to give towards that guillotine? Was he ever in a position where you thought AJ was in trouble? He escapes right here, pops his head when he jolts him to the ground, then lands a couple of other small shots. Great round for both guys.
No, I do not see it. I'm kidding what he wrote, okay?
AJ McKee entering the championship rounds. This is round number 4.
Fight.
Patricio Pitbull trying to force a rubber match. AJ McKee looking to extend the longest winning streak in Bellator history. Unofficial scorecard belongs to Big John McCarthy. He has McKee ahead 29-28 after 3 rounds.
And it's only because I didn't give credit so much to the guillotine as far as I thought it was tight, but not tight enough to submit it. I could be wrong, and the judges could definitely be wrong.
Good job of targeting the legs of AJ McKee and the body, both of them have. Even from that distance, straight left, lands on Patricio Pitbull. Start to the foot.
Just with the way I'm seeing Patricio as far as the way he's starting this round, it's telling me that that guillotine, he did touch his arms a little bit. He's trying to just slow it down, get some more back in there, take his time with this. Not a bad thing to do, as long as AJ's going to sit on the outside and not sure if he's ever going. That's what you see sometimes.
Two minutes gone here in the fourth. Pitbull downstairs again.
Don't let him steal this round, okay? You're in the last round. You're doing good. So far, I have your head on all the rounds. Stop working so hard. He's tired, bro. He's tired just like you are. But you're younger, okay? You're younger than he.
Patrício, tá muito equilibrado. Ele tá morto e ele só quer dar golpe explosivo. Você pode continuar mantendo o ritmo do começo ao fim.
Beautiful kick right to the body and a nice left hand finishing it off for AJ McKee. And the real difference in this fourth round when you're looking at things, that was a beautiful left hook up top by Pitbull, but he slowed his offense down. So now AJ in the same manner, he let AJ just throw a lot of pot shots there. Some landed, some didn't, but he was definitely the more active fighter. Nothing landed. It was a big, heavy shot by either fighter.
Ready? Are you ready? Fight! Fifth and final round. AJ McKee just turned 27. Patricio Pitbull, 34. It comes down to this. John, how do you have enough to go around to be here?
It's 3-1, but he could definitely be 2-2 in this final round. In my opinion, both guys need to go out there.
He shoots in for the takedown.
You got it. You got it. Look in. Look in. Hook the leg. Hook the leg.
Underneath him. That's what he's trying to do right now. Pitbull doing a great job getting back to that position, using the fence as a balance point.
Keep your hips forward. There you go. Hey, you're good here. I know what you're going to do. I see it. What you like, what you got? Yeah, you gotta come big, sit low. Hey, watch yourself. There you go. Put all your weight on him and make him work a little bit. There you go. There you go. Keep him pinched against the cage. Thrust your hips forward, and you're okay. You're okay. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Okay, don't be ready. Let's go. Okay, baby, so far now. You got 3 minutes now. Take your time. Don't be in a rush.
championship here by A.J. McKee, embracing both Pitbull brothers.
Go through a battle like that with starting off right away, coming with a flying side kick to the body. You saw beautiful leg kicks at times by Patricio Pitbull. Goes to the body, the guillotine attempt. He tried, wasn't quite there for him. At times started to look like it got a little tight, but you never saw AJ truly struggling with it. AJ worked his way out, landed a lot of body kicks. Beautiful left hand. Both guys gave it everything they had. Sometimes big power by AJ, sometimes big power by Pitbull. But you got to go back to the grappling aspect. AJ was the guy that was able to get the takedowns and sometimes land good elbows and punches on the ground in that position.
Thank you.
First time in his career, A.J. McKee's got the 5-round distance against the man he dethroned, Patricio Pitbull. Both of them believe they have done enough to walk out of the Bellator MMA cage champion. We're about to find out who indeed will leave San Jose Bellator Featherweight champion. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Michael Bell, scores the fight 49-46, while judges Ron McCarthy and Derek Cleary both see it the same, 48-47. All 3 have it for the winner by unanimous decision. He is the